Welcome, friends and enemies. How are you today? Let me see. We've got subscriber stream, hot tub, and just chatting. Just imagine I'm in the hot tub. Alright. We've got learn, study. Study. Learn. My studies. Sladgie analysis stream, March 17th. It is March 17th. St. Patrick's Day is almost. When is St. Patrick's Day? Did it already pass us? We really keep close track of St. Patrick's Day here in Budapest. Alright, we've got a game from AP87, Ripun Bansal, Sumaher, Move 11, Arsenal fan. Asterby, why is your game not in the list? Where is Asterbate's game? Thought I put it in there. There is a reason why your game is not in the list, sir. Please tell me. Wait, what? Can I put... Oh. So Asterby, you did something where like your game couldn't go in the list. Usually you make it accessible. I don't know, we're going to check how many games we have and I'll let you know if you can put it in. Lecky. I have a max 10 games. AP, Ripun, Sumer, that's 5 with Arsenal fan and Move 11. Okay, we crossed that out. Sumaher isn't the list. Cross that out. Asterbate, Husky, and Muleskinner. So I've got Asterbate, Husky, and Muleskinner in addition to 5 games on the list. That makes a total of 8. Lakey, if you submit a game, that's game 9. Would you like to submit game 9? Lakey F7013. If you submit a game, sir, it is move 9. Move 11. You gotta send me the game here on lichess by a study would be best. At least the PGN of the game. So we've got move 9 and game 11. I mean, move 11 and game 9. Move 11 is curiously game 8. Alright. Uber driver, yes. Please, my friend Pop Gellert lost exactly that game. It's so strange. OTB. Alright, copy. Paste. Is this good? We'll see. Yeah, perfect. That's great. Figured it out on the first try. It's in there. Terrific. Why does my board look weird? Yeah, once Pop Gellert lost, I told the story. He had a mental breakdown, and one of many, and lost on purpose against Sultan Varga. Varga was like beside himself when his opponent played like f3, g4, and mated himself. Like, it's embarrassing. That game's gonna be like sent to FIDE, and it looks like people are throwing games on purpose. What are you supposed to do if you're like on the winning side? Thanks, Uber driver. Current Budapest for Saturday Grandmaster Tournament. Pop Gellert last, of course. He had another mental breakdown. He's my teammate. He's a good player, but unstable. Wasn't surprised to see him finish last. Alright. Watch out for those Indian 2477s. 2 Indian players finished first this month in the tournament in Budapest. Victor Mikulewski was like, oh, congratulations to my student who made his first Grandmaster Norm on Facebook. But the guy's like pretty high rated. Alright. Anyway, I'm having trouble focusing my thoughts, so we're gonna calm down. Focus oneself. Okay, this is not our first game. Asteroid says, unfortunately, guys, I've recently shown my week's games to our master, and due to things beyond my control, he made the master a bit lethargic. Has made the master a bit lethargic. I feel better now. My really weak period is like between like 4 and 6:30, 4 and 6 in the afternoon, where the brain fog is at its worst. I'm better now. Digestion. I'm getting some blood flow to the brain. Just ignore Uber driver. I don't know what he's talking about. He says all kinds of weird trolly stuff. He likes attention. Not as bad as Bob though. Mr. Coffee with 1,000-bit donation. I was just gonna greet you, and then you threw out 1,000-bit donation. He just was awarded a scholarship at Grand Canyon University. Share the wealth, man. Did you get your tax refund yet? I got a letter from the IRS that says, like, the tax, the COVID money that we got last year is tax, it's not supposed to be reported on your taxes. I have the feeling I included it in my total income. But hopefully my CPA figured it out. I didn't realize that, like, it wasn't counted. The extra money we got for COVID in 2021, it wasn't supposed to be counted as taxable income. Hope I didn't, like, screw that up. That would be embarrassing. But thank you for the donation, man. I'm having trouble focusing. Do I have ADD? Adult Onset Attention Deficit Disorder. AOADD. Do I have AOADD? That's the question. I work too much. Not getting enough exercise. So the brain is having trouble focusing. I'm trying to get myself mentally prepared for this subscriber stream, so just bear with me for a minute before we get started. But a few donations help clear out the brain cells. No, I just had coffee, Uber driver, but it was only enough to kind of clear the clouds of brain fog. I can sort of think in some degree, to some degree, but not all that clearly. And I'm a little hyper now. It only makes me hyper. It doesn't really help. So, yeah. Alright, I want a glass of water and I want a beer. It just made me think of George Thorogood. One bourbon, one scotch, and one beer. Alright. So, in honor of our great president, Joe Biden, we'll sing a little George Thorogood and the Delaware Destroyers. I had a submission from Arsenal. A while back, I hadn't realized this. It just took me till now, like, to realize that Arsenal fan submits his games over on Twitch rather than on lichess. And as usual, I'm brain fogged and I don't know how to think clearly. But I was able to slowly piece it together, like why Arsenal fan was submitting his games over on Twitch. Because I have to actually carry them over from like one browser to another. It's a minor inconvenience. But it just occurred to me that Arsenal fan, our friend, is chat banned on lichess. That's why he can't send me the games. Maybe you could find a way to do it like a trick, Arsenal. You could, even if you're chat banned, maybe you could make a study and make me a contributor in it. Maybe you're not banned from doing that, and then I would get like a notification, and you could probably do it that way. I don't think you're like banned from making people contributors, so we could do that. Then I would get like a message when Arsenal fan. I get a message, right, when someone makes me a contributor. Uh-oh, Zen Chess is game number 10. Thinking outside the box. Last game for tonight is Zen Chess. Of course, you can pay extra to have your game, like, put forward in the queue. Nils is going to have to pay extra tonight if he comes by, because there's already 10 games. I've had a really tough week. I like literally haven't had time to go for a walk this week. I really need exercise. And what's going on here? Open. And it's not good that you're working all week. I mean, I had time to go for a walk, but by that time I'm so tired I don't feel like going for a walk. I'm usually like, it's like 7 o'clock and it's dark. And I just don't have the energy anymore. Lots of work. No play. Alright, yeah, I'm having trouble focusing. Alright, this is Zen Chess, game 10. We're going to start with game 1. AP 8-7. I think beer helps you concentrate. Thank you, Zen Chess, for being a subscriber. Uber driver, do something intense for 5 seconds. Alright. I'm afraid it's hopeless. Yeah, no, Bodfinic says you should go for a walk before your tournament games. Well, I have a flight of steps in my house. I have to like go upstairs and downstairs all the time. So even when I don't leave the house, I still probably like walk up and down the flight of stairs like 10 times a day. So I'm still like, even on days when I don't go for a walk, at least I have like 100 steps I'm walking, which is like at least something. D4. So AP87 is playing black here. He's a subscriber. Oh, he's playing a FIDE Master. Is this a simul? No, 5 minute. I mean, it could be a simul. Okay, first of all, don't play the England Gambit. I hate the England Gambit so much that I've never played it like once. I even played the Elephant Gambit. Can we transpose to an elephant? No. It's pretty much like the opposite of the elephant. Why do I like the elephant better? So takes. I always hated the England Gambit. Normally it's knight c6. Uber driver. Real old school is queen e7. Old school what? You have to be kidding me. Like, I don't think like even Emery Tate would play queen e7 in the I don't know anybody who would play that, man. That's just absurd. Alright. No, I get it, but I think it's a little early, you know. Maybe later. I know how much you like playing the 94 version of the Budapest. So I would assume like the best move is probably knight c6. Alright, d6 can't be really worse than knight c6. Now I think from White's perspective, I faced this against random noobs, maybe even including AP87. And I don't see why we want to help Black develop. Do you guys? You wonder if b6 is a move. Of course it's a move. It's like a Jabava down a tempo. It's a move. It's a bad move, and you're clear pawn down for nothing. But it's totally a move. Attacking the center is much more logical, you know. So I think White here should probably play like bishop g or knight f3. Let's you know, not develop Black's pieces for him. Alexander Tomic versus Jay Milovich. Man, I mean, honestly, if I played like 2300s who played this opening, I would be like 2500. Like, seriously, what kind of 2280 player plays... Do you know that I've never ever played a single player, even like a 1600, who played this opening against me? Like, what kind of 2280 player plays this Gambit for black? Yeah, I know, but I mean, that's why he's a decent Serbian FM. Because he's like beating on 2280s who play this opening. Like, what world do you find a 2280 who would play this, you know? The average Indian, like 1300, is probably better than that guy. You just can't play this opening in a serious tournament, man. But this is already an inaccuracy. I think there's no reason to take on d6. I like how someone played queen takes d6. Get me this guy's number. Again, get me a 2230 who plays this, and I'll play like a match with him and gain 200 rating points. Queen takes d6. That's a real game. You're telling me that's a real game. That is not a made-up game from like a fake tournament or something. Not only are you losing a pawn for nothing, but you're trading queens against like a Bulgarian GM or something. Dude, please. That has got to be like fake tournament. So obviously black has to take with the bishop. Knight f3. Yeah, Eastern Europe. Budapest is better than its reputation, but in Eastern Europe there are some pretty shady tournaments, or have been. Your $5 Streamlabs didn't pop up because Arsenal and someone on sound made me turn down the volume. There it is. Zen Chess, $10. No. Zen Chess, $5. Can I bump up my game a place or two? Bump up the volume. They were complaining that the system sounds were too loud, so I had to turn it off. They're like fun killers. Yes, we'll bump him up. Bump up the volume. How does that go? Alright. Yeah, Zen Chess will bump you up to 6th position. I don't want to put you in front of Arsenal fan. I'll get angry. Mr. Coffee Sire. Of course, the bigger the donation, the bigger the bump. Is it too early to think about things like what? Black is minorly ahead in development. But he's not really, is he? Okay, yeah, here's the next move. For a moment, he's ahead in development, yeah. Yeah, like Valhab Sanal played it and lost against Bidrich. The Turkish guy, he's playing crazy stuff. But no one in their right mind plays this opening with black. In a rapid game, okay, you know, blitz, but... Bishop g5's maybe interesting. Looks playable. I like this. Like, I had a game like knight f3, knight c6, bishop g5. Black plays queen d7. I mean, I can't imagine that's correct. What's the advantage here? 1.8. 1.8 after 4 moves. And these guys... Find me these people and like tell me like how I can play them in rated games. Do you know how it takes me like 50 moves to win a pawn? A lot of times. And these guys are just like giving away pawns on move 5. You got like 50 moves of work you don't have to do there. I mean, black has a little compensation. But this is a bad... I think that's like one of the best lines according to the engine. Don't be misled by the result of 2 random games there. I don't like this as much. And something about knight c3 is a bit awkward. I mean, it's basically like a black Mortimer reversed here. The knight in front of the pawn isn't really optimal. This is probably not a great square. I would think like if you're going to move the bishop, like g4 would be better. Why put it on e6? This is more reserved. Reserved! And then Uberdarber's favorite square, Queen e7. Yeah, no, Bishop g4 is more active. It's just a better move. In the database, you'll find a game for any stupid line, most likely. Well, yeah, at the like Sri Lankan under 8 championship. But if we're talking about like quality games, the Blackmore Deemer has like a cult following in correspondence chess. You know, there's some cult followers of these weird gambits. You'll find games, especially in correspondence. But I don't think the White played this like ideally. He doesn't have as much as he should. I mean, actually, White hasn't played this ideally. I think these pieces are curiously placed. So it looks like Black has some more compensation than really is necessary here. Again, the bishop should be on g4. And now Black plays h5. Wouldn't be my first choice. But I don't know, maybe it's as good as anything. Rook e1 looks logical. Wait, is today St. Patrick's Day? I was asking when it is. The Braintree Bomber sent us happy St. Patrick's Day. The first year they've had parades again after COVID. We really celebrate hard here in Budapest. There probably is some Irish pub somewhere. I've never really gone to Irish pubs. They're sort of fake. The ones in Budapest, not my thing. Braintree. Wait, you're not from Braintree. I called you Braintree. Is it Braintree? Knight d5, Queen e8. Yeah, I mean this is a major problem in Black's positions in general. You know, Black's got way more chances here than he should have had. You know, so he just gambits a piece. Yeah, you got to ask yourself. I'm not taking that bishop on g4 for sure. So what's happening here? Looks like White's getting in trouble, but bishop e2 is probably okay. Do we have a problem? Do we have a problem here, officer? Can I just play bishop e2? Uncle Sladgie. Knight takes f6 1-0. Are you sure? I'm not so sure, man. I have my doubts about that. I think this looks dangerous. Because White's kingside's getting shredded. Arse. No, I don't agree with you. I think you're wrong on that call. Oh, before bishop g5. Oh, okay. Well, no, it's not 1-0. No, this isn't that bad. He's got garbage here. There is attacking chances for Black. White needs to be careful. I think he's fine, though. Like, why doesn't he just play bishop e2 here? Can somebody explain to me? I mean, there is some possibility of threats here, but I don't see it. Like, after bishop e2? Well, obviously earlier White had lots of options. I don't love the way he played it. Okay, there's something with queen e5. So like knight takes, bishop takes, queen e5, bishop f4. I'm not seeing it. You know, how does Black do anything here after bishop e2? I think it's a bluff. So you have nothing better than some kind of ordinary move now. What do we do? Queen e6? Actually, it's not easy to defend this knight on f6. Yeah, you could try some speculative sacrifice. which I really don't buy. I'm not buying this. Queen e6 walks into like knight d4, which I'm also not buying. I think that white played okay up until, you know, this position. Now what? You're saying bishop e2, knight takes e4. The knight f3 really works at bishop d8? Like here? Here. Here. That's neat. Now we're talking. Even this is like unclear because of like bishop takes g4 check. Does that work? Pawn takes, queen takes check, f5, rook takes e4, not gonna work. Knight e7 check. I don't know, man. It's not even mate when you get in queen h2, so I'm skeptical. Wow, white's winning. Ouch. So it's nothing. It's all a lie. Yeah. It's all a lie, a big lie. So his best move is bishop takes f3. Yeah, I mean, this is a huge blunder. Taking this is extremely dangerous. Maybe white's still okay. I don't know. But my point would be like, why in the world would you take that risk, you know? Why would white possibly gamble with like taking that bishop on g4 when he's up a clear pawn? Obviously a dangerous thing to do. So he basically just did this, this, and he missed rook h1, which is nice. No, so the real question is bishop f4. And I think that the one move threat here, white has either f3 or king f1. Black's down a piece, but perhaps he has something. Now, there might be something here. Knight takes d5. It looks pretty dangerous. It's safe to say this is pretty dangerous. It's what? It's equal according to the engine, or white's slightly better. About equal. Even the computer is having a hard time making. But this man, he missed rook h1. Boom. FIDE master, take that. That's what we live for, right? Triple exclam. That's why we play the England Gambit. Suction, nurse. Can I get some suction? King h1. And mate. Now, if you want to be like a real jerk, you have to play rook h8 check. And then after like bishop h4, you take it, and then they go here, and then you do like the second rook on h1, and then queen h2 mate. Have I got room for another game? No. Nope. No, we're all out of room. Players are recommended to submit the games early. The art of the suction. Long time caller here. First time listener. Alright, second game is Another FIDE master bites the dust. Long time FIDE master. Long time FIDE master against Ripunj. All India matchup. But Gowrie lives in the US. No, the last I heard, he claimed he had like 10 IM norms, but he has no rating. Dude, I played him, it seemed like 15 years ago in Budapest. He came with another Indian guy from Chicago. They were kids. I mean, that was like 2008 or something. For Christ's sake, I mean, it was at the Budapest, the Hungarian Chess Federation. I mean, he must have been. It must have been 2008, dude. It was like 14 years ago. When I played Gowrie, I remember clearly it was an IM tournament, and I never really played IM tournaments, but I guess I had agreed, like on a deal, and I was playing in like the French Team Championship at the time, so it had to be like 2008. It's really scary. But it's scary that Grandmaster Gowrie is not a Grandmaster. Alright, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, d4. E takes d4, knight takes d4, bishop c5. Yeah. Either bishop c5 or knight f6. I think bishop c5... Bishop c5's run into problems with knight b3, bishop b6. Magnus was using this for a while, some time ago. Magnus played it with white. This line is a little hard for black to solve. It's not that easy for black to equalize here. Yeah, my line that I play is like the trashy g6, which definitely doesn't equalize. We can go back to e7. There's also another interesting idea, which is some people are playing bishop e4 check now. I always thought this was strange, but it circumvents Magnus's knight b3 line. You know what's interesting, Driver? Charlie Mays, 2000 player from the Boylston Chess Club, he was playing that like back in the early 90s, and no one realized how good this line was. I was always like, why do you play that, you know, lame variation or whatever? Then it turns out to be popular. But I think it's been revitalized by this idea where black has to confront like queen e2. So this is the dangerous variation. It's a lot like a center attack, basically. It's not that easy for black to deal with this. I've seen some players with black having a really hard time. So your other option, obviously, is to play knight f6. Oh, you had many a game in that. With Charlie. I haven't heard anything about Charlie. Is he still alive? Do you know anything about him? Bishop c5, bishop e3. He's not that old. He wouldn't be that old. So, okay, queen f6, c3, mainline Scotch, knight on g to e2. I think he had like he must have been diabetic or something, because he used to come to the chess club and like fall asleep while he was like sitting there watching games. Knight on g to e7. I guess he worked a lot. That helps make you tired too. I might have, I don't know, I feel like I'm diabetic lately. I'm fatigued all the time. Knight on g to e7, bishop c4, main line. Okay, so this is old school main line. And then black played d5. Now, I don't know anything about this. No, this is a mainline Scotch. I mean, it's not exactly trending. I don't remember the last time like I saw people playing this variation. It used to be the main line of the Scotch, but it's not a popular variation for some reason. Castles is normal. Well, even b6 is played. But knight e5, bishop e2, queen g6. But like, look at the games here. 2001, 2012, 2009, 2009, 2013. I mean, it's like, what happened? Kasparov brought the Scotch. Like in the mid-90s, Kasparov brought the Scotch back to popularity, just like the Evans. Now it's faded a little bit in popularity again. But there's other lines that are popular. Like I said, knight b3 was the big one lately. So I don't know about this. What is this? Some kind of pawn sack? It's a 10-minute game? It reminds me of Sicilian, sort of, where you sack a pawn. I have no idea how this works. It's weird that there's only 4 games that this has ever been played. The Rui Damaso, you know, he's a creative player who was big on the Scandinavian. But pretty much just a couple games here. So you took him out of book with d5, I guess. No, I mean, you can't put the knight on a5, Arsenal. I can't believe it. Really? What are you going to do with your knight on a5? I mean, this ain't the two knights defense. I can't see how that's viable. Yeah, if you claim the bishop, it's like a Steinitzian type of thing, like knight a5, but you're going to drop a knight, aren't you? So let's say like takes, knight a5, bishop e2, knight takes d5, queen a4 check. I mean, I'm going to close this for a second. So we'll just look at, and like say like takes, knight a5, which I just feel is wrong. Obviously bishop e5 check is possible, but let's just say for argument's sake, bishop e2. Actually, for argument's sake, let's say queen a4 check. Is that a problem? Yes. Alright, Arsenal. You can hang it up. No, that's not going to work. Pawn takes pawn. It has to be knight e5. And obviously white plays bishop b3. Or maybe nothing. None of the above. It's a tricky line. This or this. Alright, so Grandmaster Nenad Furchech. Well, someone took on d4. Is that the idea? Well, that's interesting. Taking on d4. But I mean, this kind of makes sense, right? If you just leave white with a bad structure. I mean, this isn't so bad. That extra pawn can be blockaded. Like, black lost. But I would imagine black has tremendous chances to hold this. Objectively, white isn't that much better here, if he's like better at all. Isn't Vladislav Fedorov like the Grandmaster? Or is that a different Fedorov? I think that was a different guy, maybe. What's the Belarusian Grandmaster's name? Plays the dragon in the King's Indian. Is it Vladislav? I don't think so. Does anybody know? He played the King's Gambit too, didn't he? Yeah, that looks kind of solid for black. That would get my vote. Okay, so he played knight e5, and now bishop e5 check. Now black plays king f8. I mean, that's crazy. I need to see your driver's license, sir. Maybe it's not, though. But I mean, I don't think this is sound. I don't get it. I mean, king f8 and white is like... White doesn't need to be up a pawn anymore. I mean, the important thing is that black's king is messed up now. So you have a secondary advantage. Obviously, it'd be nice to hold on to that. I expected black to play c6 like this other guy did. You know, I don't know how much compensation black has here, though. Oh, wow, so this guy just castled. That's serious. And if you take another pawn, you're really getting raked by the black pieces. So Alexei Fedorov, thanks, Goju. Yeah, that's a different guy. The Vladislav Fedorov, I think, I don't know if he was Belarus or like Russia. It seems to me I remember that guy. Maybe he played in some Open in the US. But it's not a Super GM. This is a cool idea. I don't like King F8, it looks wrong. But still, white has to be careful. So you gotta ask, you know, Knight G4 is a problem. So C4 looks shaky. It looks shaky because of, well, not only like Bishop B4 check, but more likely like just Knight G4. Okay, this is shaky. But what should white do? Queen B3, that looks off sides. This is going to hit, and it's going to hit our bishop on E3, which is a vital piece. So what do you want to do here? What are you going to do here with white? I mean, I look at it this way. White's up a pawn, and black's king is like screwed. Not immediately, but in the long run, in a normal position, black's going to have a hard time justifying his king on f8. If the queens stay on the board, white is better in a sort of normal situation. Let's just say, hypothetically, white plays bishop e2. Black takes this pawn. Oh, you pointed out 96 check. Master. It's even stronger there. Look at that. Bishop e2, knight takes d5. Hello. Hello. Oh. That's so nasty. Now bishop takes, c5 check. And I like white. I like white better here. Definitely. It's not like white is definitely winning, but I don't see myself preferring to be black in this position. G3. What do you do? Is this a problem? Still, white's got to be better. He's got to be better here. So that 96 thing is huge. So are you saying 96 right away? Did someone suggest that and I ignored them, Uber driver? I'm trying not to look at the engine, to be honest. Pawn takes. Bishop takes c5 is grotesque. Yeah, I think that black can't do this. I mean, he has to play the Jakubovich move. Now, I'm not turning on the engine unless I have to. King f8 doesn't work. The 96 looks too strong, but Grandmaster didn't find it. Yeah, I'd probably like sleepwalk my way through this too. You're not thinking tactically, you don't see 96. But now, he has to play it. Now he found it. Yeah, and still white's better. Bishop takes c6, bishop takes c5 check, king g8. Luckily, black structure's okay. He has the threat of knight f4. So now, like, Gowrie is probably long-term better, but he doesn't have a real large static advantage. Yeah, his move was very logical here, bishop d4. I also thought maybe g3, but it weakens the king side too much. We can't stop knight f4. Yeah, no, bishop d4 looks correct. But I'm thinking that maybe black has something here. You know, I mean, knight f4 looks pretty strong. Because now you're threatening to unpin with queen g5. What's the big deal, dude? We're going to unpin it and win it. Rook e1. Does rook e1 fly? Yeah, I know he played c5, but do we need to even play c5? This might even be stronger. What do you play after knight f4? Wondering if this is even better. No, white's only like equal if he does that at best. So I was thinking there. It looks like there might be something here. But who knows? I mean, I don't know what's going on. Knight h3 check? I mean, this is frightening. It looks like white's lucky to draw. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, there's bishop d5, mother. Yeah, there's serious problems here. You know, so maybe white has to... Maybe black should play knight f4. What does white play after knight f4? Queen e1. Queen e1 is devastating. This is the best line of all. Queen e1, knight f3 check. Bye-bye. Does this... Oh, man. Okay, so knight f4 looks really dangerous. Yeah. Phew, he's almost winning. Wow, white has only one move. Knight d2. And now h5 with advantage to black. King h1 is not a ridiculous suggestion, I guess. Someone suggested king h1. But it still doesn't defend g2. I wouldn't be surprised at some crazy tactics with like that or something. There's also this bishop over here that's hanging on b5. King h1 doesn't contribute much to white's development. So there's that as well. You know, that lateral thing. But I don't know. Ripun played c5. And honestly, yeah, Gary just like plays a safe move. Well, he doesn't really have, you know, he has the option to take this, but I mean this is really asking for trouble. So he takes on e5, and it's like, okay, it's probably equal. Rook e1. He didn't do rook e1. And now rook d8, which is clearly dangerous. I don't know that Ripun should like pin himself on the d file. I think it's more important that he gets his rook in the game. Or just sorts out his king. So like this is a safe move, trying to play like king g7, or we try to activate our rook. But I don't love rook d8. I mean, I don't love the way that Gary played it either. Maybe he should play rook e1 at some point. That gives his bishop a nice retreat square back to f1 too. His bishop's just like chilling on b5, doing absolutely nothing except being a target. Rook d8, knight f3, queen c7. Now there's discoveries. So now he has to put his queen on a kind of crappy square, c2. And now he can't get back to f1. Notice. Here, here. Threatening nothing. Man. Yeah, actually Ripun had better moves. I think even like knight f4 is better than the game continuation. He just played safe. Black just played safe and it's just an equal game. Yeah, he never even went for knight f4. And then this is a problem because like where are we going? How are we getting our king out? I mean, shouldn't you consider like g6 to try to get up here? How are you going to get your king and your rook sorted out? He wanted to stop knight g5, but we got a problem. So Gary's like better now. Gary's better now. Grandmaster Gary. That's what we should call him from now on. GM Gary. Rook d5. Yeah, f4. I think I'll pass on that. Not necessary to play f4. f4 was a little overconfident, perhaps. Maybe white should just retreat. You have knight g6. Wow. Black also has fancy moves though, like knight g4, a little artificial. Rook h5, triple exclam. I like this. It might be safer to play knight f3. Hey, what's up, Husky? Yeah, this wasn't the highest quality game. And now b5 on the queen side. Oh, man. Yeah, white just, like, kind of underestimated Ripun. I don't really know about f4, and I definitely don't know about c4. The dark squares are getting weak. I expected just simply recapture here and then taking on f4. And it looks like black's fine. But he threw in like this in-between move, which I guess is threatening something like queen b6. Yeah, I mean, white just like, what was he doing? White is really reckless. Look at this king. King safety will kill you every time. Funny that it didn't become an issue. Like, Ripun ended up winning this game, but he didn't even play that accurately. Now there's knight f6 and rook e8, so watch out for that. Knight g4, rook e8 mate. So we have to be careful. How does this work? Does this work? You're going to have to take with the g-pawn? Oh, that's gross. Takes to the g-pawn. And now black's structure is just messed up. Yeah, there's no reason this had to happen. I mean, it seems like black's doing fine. I suspect we might have something even better. Knight d5 won it quite cleanly. Won what? In what position? After takes? Like this? What position are you talking about, knight d5? This is kind of messy. Now it's like a draw. Yeah, actually white's better now after dropping b5. By the way, I mean, black could have checked like 100 different moments, or played the queen to b6, right? Actually, do we have queen c5 here? He has queen c5. Ooh. So, okay. Maybe queen c5 right away. White has to play king h1. And then we recapture. It's probably equal. But this is unfortunate. I was thinking, do we have queen b6? I mean, you can play it, right? Queen b6, knight f6 check, pawn takes. We hold on to the b5 pawn, but the black king is unsafe. I think black will hold on here. Yeah, it's probably a draw. I don't know how Ripun managed to win, especially after dropping b5. It's just coming down to some bullet game. Yeah. Looks like Grandmaster Gary was just lazy and dropped his b2 pawn, making this routine rook move. So it comes down to bullet chess. It's a bullet finish. And still, white is in no danger of losing, really. Objectively, he should be fine. I guess, like, rook here. I think he should create some threats against the black king. Rook d4 is top 3. This looks like where he actually loses the game. If you think about it, the only weakness in Black's position has always been his king position. And now Grandmaster Gary plays Rook C1, but I mean at the end of the day, you're like down 2 pawns, one of them a passer. But the Black King is open here, so this makes total sense. The Black King is not safe. You gotta exploit it. He misses this, and then he goes down. Yeah, now he's paralyzed. I guess Rook C3 is still a chance. He still has Rook C3. Rook C3, Rook F5, Rook takes C4. He misses that too. I mean, this still looks holdable. Okay, he's in really bad time pressure. And this is a draw now. So congratulations. He flagged him in a draw position. Actually, this gets a little funky. I wouldn't give anybody a draw just yet. White should play King H2, no? It's gotta be a draw. No, it's winning, according to the engine. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. He has to play Rook C6. And he missed it. Now it's a draw. Okay, I'm not going to play out the end of this. This is just bullet chess. Alright. Interesting game. Far from perfect. So we're going to go through Subahara Free Humanity. Free Humanity. Alright, Sumahare 2087 against Free Humanity 2362. Thanks everyone for joining the stream. Thanks to ZenChess for gifting $5. Uber Driver cheered 500 bits for Happy St. Paddy's Day. We don't get a lot of that here in Hungary. I have no scotch in the house, I think. Yeah, they were pouring Johnny Walker Red at That's best drank with cola last week. Alright, not a fan of Johnny Walker Red. It tastes like formaldehyde. If you're gonna drink scotch, at least drink good scotch. Scotch on St. Patrick's Day, or we'll drink Irish whiskey. I used to drink Ballantine sometimes. Alright, we've got Sumahare versus Free Humanity. So the Tarash, interesting. Oh, he played the Gambit. The Hennig Shara Gambit. Yeah, I was told someone on Sound he should play this. Probably be good, like, it would be a good anti-Schieber-Spieler line. C takes D4. And now Queen A4 check, I think is like the theoretical move. Although I never really paid very close attention. Oh, Uber Driver plays this, right? He played my opening. Your opening. I think I played against the Henning Shara in a tournament game in my first couple of years of chess in the 80s. What's Alyekin's move? Queen A4? I think it might be the best move according to the engine. But there's nothing wrong with Queen D4. Huh. Wow. Yeah, Sumahare doesn't know the theory, so he was hesitant to take the pawn. But you have to take the pawn here. Otherwise you're letting Black get away with murder. Yeah, I think Eric Schiller wrote a book on this opening for Black. Uber Driver. If I remember correctly. Queen takes D5, Bishop D7. Uber Driver playing Bishop E6. Someone played that against me at the BU Open. Like in 1800. It's playable, your line. But it's a little weird to play a Gambit and then trade queens. White has a line there where there's a slight pull. What was it now? Check. Isn't this a problem? Volkov Nakamura. Sladgie Bronstein. But what's up with King E2 again? King E2 A6. So you need the square for the bishop. I'll take it. It's like plus 0.9 for white. I'm there, man. It looks like your A6 has been played, but it's not the best move according to Stockfish. Stockfish has some G5 cooking. Home cooking. That's a little more dynamic, you know? There may be some undiscovered juicy secrets for this line. Anyways, queen takes d5, bishop d7. There's a ton of theory on this. I don't know if you realize this. Of course, g5 is a major idea. Normally when white's castled on the king side, when they're opposite side castling, there was a huge New in Chess yearbook article on this variation. I mean, Uber Driver, there's massive theory on this, especially in like correspondence games. I was surprised, and that was a long time ago, you know, even like 20 years ago. There is a pretty huge amount of theory on this variation. So anyways, what he does here is horrible. Like e3. I mean, what are we getting? Like a passive sort of semi-Tarash? I don't like it. Yeah, I don't think bishop g4 is right. So black's supposed to play bishop d6. This is definitely the best move. I think you want to play castles and queen e7, if possible. Black has a very good score here. There's something wrong with bishop g4. I guess it makes white's play clearer. I mean, theoretically, white could play h3 or bishop b5. Bishop b5 is risky. I don't really know if h3 is useful or not. I suppose this is playable. Black might even like go back. I seriously think that h3 might not be such a bad move. But there's no doubt that bishop d6 is the best. Black wants to castle kingside, and it's a normal semi-Tarash. And it's not that easy to play white. White is like playing the Pana of Caro-Kann like he's black or something. I lost to Kaidanov here. You gotta be like Portish to play white well. It's hard to play white. But bishop g4 looks wrong. And then this definitely is wrong. I mean, maybe black's like not worse, but the whole point of black's position is to like play for a kingside attack. I think bishop on d6, queen on e7, you play queen e5, you try to like, you focus on playing for an attack against the white king, you know, like a normal IQP. This is a very strange move. And then obviously like white could just castle. You don't have to play bishop d2, which is slightly passive. Castles. And now, my first question is, what happens if d4? Does this just not work? Or is this just a dead draw? It's just a dead draw. Knight d4. Knight d4. No, this is losing a pawn. This loses a pawn. So d4 doesn't work. So black plays the ordinary rook c8, rook c1, and then, yeah, he just plays bishop takes f3. A pretty lifeless game now. I mean, I don't understand what like a 2362 is doing in this position against the 19. No, he's 2087, but black's not happy. Black's equalizing at best, getting rid of his IQP, but he did not play in the spirit of the isolated queen pawn at all. You're not like getting the IQP so you trade it off and equalize. I mean, he should be like trying to play for an attack with black. He had a pretty good IQP and white was passively placed. So now we transfer to an endgame where white has this vicious bishops. This is a nice endgame. I mean, these bishops are brutal. It's very hard for black to not like drop a pawn. A6 looks forced. Yeah, Karpov would win many positions like this, I'm sure. But I'm curious about this position. So A6 is basically forced. Now, this bishop looks ridiculous. The raking bishops give white a huge edge. But should we play like knight A4? With the threat of going in here? Maybe knight C5? And the option to trade on C6 to do permanent damage to the black structure. I like somehow these pieces feel well coordinated. I don't really like Sumahara's decision to trade pieces here. You know, I think he's still better, but with this variation we keep all 5 pieces on the board. Well, 6 if you count the kings. Right? We keep the position more tense. We have a static advantage with the 2 bishops. I really like this. Knight A4 better. There are multiple ideas. It looks tough for black. On the other hand, he doesn't have to move his knight. I mean, you could just play like king f1. This exchange is fine. You know, bishop takes c3, rook takes c3. We're just better. So maybe a lot of players would prefer king f1. Lasting advantage, and yeah, it's hard to keep that b7 pawn defended long term. I don't like this move. Feels routine. We're still better, but it feels like every exchange, you know, gets black a little closer to a draw. Now I don't see a threat here, so again, I would prefer to play king f1. But he just plays bishop f3. This doesn't help us. I don't see how this helps us. Although, also, what about like bishop b6? Rook d7 holds. Now bishop takes c6. Rook takes d1, rook takes d1, rook takes c6, rook check, bishop f8, black's okay. It's a pretty funny position, like takes, 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 check, and now this is hanging and you're getting back rank mated. So white's lucky he's not losing here. But he's also, black's also pinned. It's a draw. Yeah, rook d6. No, this is a bad move by Sumahara. Bishop f3, wasting time. Now, rook takes d1. I don't know if he should do that. Again, black can also make an improving move here, rather than just trading stuff. I mean, rook takes d8, rook takes d8, bishop takes c6, pawn takes c6. They're still a back rank mate. It's not like black's necessarily lost. Okay, he plays this. Rook takes d1 to avoid the pawn structure damage, I guess. Take. Now, why not rook d8? I guess rook back. This has got to be a draw, although it's a torturous draw. I mean, I shouldn't say that, okay? Karpov would win it. But I think the computer would draw against the computer. This position. Probably. Stockfish against Stockfish is probably a draw. Bobby Fischer or Magnus or Karpov against the regular Grandmaster. White can probably win it somehow. Torturous. But he plays what? King f8. I don't like the look of that. You have rook d7. I don't even think that you can defend. There's no back rank. Oh man, I mean this looks really strong. What are you gonna do? You're just toast. Isn't black just lost here? C1 is protected. You have that. What do you do? What's black gonna do? It's really ugly. Apparently he can play b5 and hang on. No, rook d8's not good enough. I just take on b7. You have to go b5 and pray. So, yeah, I don't like the way Sumahara played this. h3, I think you should bring the king toward the center. And if I moved any pawn, it would probably be like g3. Maybe h4 even. h3 is too robotic. And then he played that. Yeah. I would probably trade rooks here and try to win this ending with the two bishops. But this isn't a horrible move. I thought there was a problem, though. Maybe not. No, rook c1 is okay. Unless he has bishop d2. But there's bishop c5 check. Okay. Here. Oh, that's game. Yeah. He allows bishop c5 check. That's not good. So now black's going to have to play like king f6. I know this is awkward, but I think this is the best choice. Seriously. You got to think outside the box. But I mean, the king on e8 is, well, it's out of the question. Yeah, I'm not overly religious. Pray. Why not king f6? I mean, it's not that easy to attack the king on f6. This is so passive. You're just asking for it. There's like this. Yep. Phew. He got ripped apart on those weak squares. Now check and 95 f4. Wow. This is horrible. All because he didn't play king f6. My gosh. Now rook h4. Rook h4 wins a pawn? No. So I don't know what to do here. He played g3 just to give his king a safe square, but it looks slow. What about 95? Yeah, I don't know. This got down to white being very low on time. I don't trust g3. Amazingly, black is holding on here. I don't like g5, but I understand why he played it. Would it be better to play g6 rather than g5? Do we have to play g5? Of course. Zen chess. We want to have our pawns on white squares, and the guy has a white square bishop. This is way more sensible. g5 is crazy. I'm immediately drawn to the horrible weaknesses of the white squares. Yeah. You can't weaken your white squares like that. g5 is suicide. h4, knight e5 here, check, and then the horrible bishop takes. Well, why not take with the pawn? Don't know why. He decided to take with the bishop. That's pretty ugly. Yeah, I would think like white was a 2362 and black was a 2087. Check. And now if we're threatening f4, game over. He evades it, but now this bishop is dead. The pawn on b7 is hanging. You go for the greedy move. I don't know. Why not just take this? Is there something here? I mean, white's got to be winning, objectively. Alright, he plays f5. I guess it's good. Because here, king h5, bishop f7 check is over. King g5, bishop e3 check is over. He has to go back. So f5 was good. Well calculated. And now in the corner. It is kind of hard to get him in the corner. We need... yeah, bishop e7. Never mind. It's over. Okay. Good game. Good game. Alright, that was Sumaher. We've got Astrobate. I've got other games not to forget from Mule Skinner. Astrobate, where are you? If you have to go, Zen Chess, let me know. We'll push you up even further. Astrobate. Where's your game, man? I introduced my game submission for Thursday. I'll just have to open it. Here. Astrobate gifting a tier 1 sub to Zora Kaya. It's a Vienna Gambit. It feels like it just got quieter in here. My fan is running out of gas. Thanks for the gift sub, Astrobate. Thanks for submitting your game. 4 CPL according to the Nokia. 9 CPL, 4 inaccuracies. Nice. Okay, so this is Astrobate's game. Thanks for the gift sub, buddy. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Analyzing subscriber games here. We'll be back on Friday with my last stream until the Simul on Sunday. This is a 30-0 rated classical. Will Astrobate use even 5 minutes for the whole game? Yeah, I feel like there's a weird... My fan is kind of dying. I use it for getting some levigo, as they say in Hungarian. The window's open, but it's nice to have a little bit of air circulation, and it seemed to slow down or something. Okay, so f4. I mean, alternatively, you can play this, bishop c4. I like bishop c4 better. Yeah. Mickey Dikat. I like bishop c4, especially here against knight c6. Not as much against knight f6. I don't know. I mean, there's no doubt that like black's best move is knight f6. This is 100%. Whatever you do, knight f6 is better. Knight c6 is... There's no real reason for this move order for black. Knight f6 puts more pressure on white's position. I guess you could do like bishop c4 f5 if you want to. Alright. Here. So black has to take. It's very rare that Astrobate's had a proper game in this line. Almost nobody has successfully made it this far. So this is literally one of the first games where someone has played the black side of this correctly. Taking on f4 is the best move against f4. Now knight f3, and of course we can't possibly play g5, right? Astrid, as you play stronger players, there's a higher propensity for this to happen. People are going to start finding the move g5, and you're going to have to work. And I don't know. You know, I think they say it's like g3. Should you play h4? I think you played h4 before. It's a good question as to what white should do. d4, g4, knight g1. What do you do? Okay, you can sack a piece here. G takes f3. Yeah, this is interesting. Okay, castles. Alberto David. Well, we'll see. You're going to have to figure out something in that line. But this is not good. Wow. Yeah, Museo Gambit, like. Bishop d6. Yeah. That's a problem. Because your bishop is going to be attacked. You're blocking your d-pawn. So d4. No. Why would you not play d4 here? Maybe black should still try g5, honestly. But it's got to be a much worse version. I mean, now h4 is really strong. No, I can't believe this is okay. You really let me down with bishop c4. And then black played knight e5. Learning from Masturbate, he likes to move the same pieces twice in the opening. Check. g3. Takes. What's happening there? I mean, I very, very seriously doubt this is a good move. Just play king f1, takes, and d4 with a winning position for white, probably. Almost winning. So bishop e5 question mark. The computer said that queen h4 is better, but I think they're both bad. Wow, bishop takes a7. So that's why. Very nice. Can we so queen h5, knight f6. I'm sorry, queen f6. Does that fly? Houston? How do we answer that? Are you settling for... Yeah. I mean, this is stronger than bishop f7, isn't it? Because you don't commit, you know. Not even bishop f7. I mean, you have knight d5, right? The eminent doom. This? And we win a rook, right? Check. The best is this. And you just mate him. Yeah. The other option is what? Queen e7? But it doesn't matter. Oh, okay, you have knight d5 anyway. It doesn't matter. It's just over. It doesn't matter, kids. Do we have knight f6? Maybe it does matter. Oh no. Knight e7, knight h5, knight c8. Damn, does this hold? Queen e7. Masturbate was right all along. He saw it. Yeah, it looks like Arsenal's line would probably have to be played. We end up playing like bishop takes f7 anyway. I'm just checking with the engine to make sure. Yeah. Masturbate was right all along. Bishop takes f7. It's certainly not bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He can take it. I don't envy Black's position. I mean, here you have now g3, so there's nothing there. I mean, I wouldn't mind like a clear... There's probably even better moves, but just for example, we're better here. Not a lot, though. Yeah, we're not up any material. Now where? What would you do? Rook f1 check. Knight f6. Pawn takes pawn. d6. Here we go again. Another queen trade. Black just keeps like hanging on, but this doesn't look like a good position. I sort of doubt it. Structure. Alright, nice game. So you, wow. Bishop f7, king f8, castles. His opponent not a believer in development. Can you please finish him off now? d4. Yeah, that's beautiful. Can we bring the bishop back? No. He just plays rook takes f4. This is stronger. Yep. Much stronger. Wow, black has no squares. Queen g5 only move. Wow, and then e5. That's brutal. Thanks for the game, man. Zorakaya says thanks for the gift sub. Black's just losing a piece here. Oof. That was cruel. Cruel and unusual punishment. Now can we get a funky mate? No. He's becoming materialistic in his old age. He doesn't play for mate anymore. He's just total materialist. 4 inaccuracies. Alright, good game. Let's do the next one. Am I losing my focus? Good game, Masturbate. Thank you. Where is my study? Alright, we've got Arsenal. No, move 11. Move 11. Hudifa. Alright, we're not synced here. Please don't move your pieces during the study. Oh man, it's the wrong game. What? Ubatis, are you out there? Like, checking out games in my study? Wait a minute here. We actually have the move 11 game in here. Alright. Who is that? Flowers. Who the fuck? Alright, e4, c5. Anyway, the good old move 11 is facing the Bodler. Classical Bodler. And now he does what I always hate to do. Yeah, I mean, like the first question when you face this bishop c4 stuff, yeah, you've got to play e6, castles, and now I normally play a6, and I've been known to play knight f6. I don't like playing d5, as I put on, on record a million times. And the only reason I don't like it is because it leads to very dry symmetrical pawn structure. Don't play the Sicilian. I don't play the Sicilian so I can get a symmetrical pawn structure, like an exchange French, So that's why I don't like this move. But I'm sure, the computer will approve. It's very central. And why play a imbalancing opening if you want to get a symmetrical pawn structure? Now white, I would expect would play rook e1 check. But instead it just whatever goes bishop e5. Secretariat. Roman Viktorovich Secretariat. All right. Yeah, that gives you time for bishop d6, but you didn't do that either. I mean, basically it's just a weird exchange French, which is probably fine for black. I like bishop d6. We have this, Maybe Uberdriver's exaggerating with mandatory. Zoltan Varga, 1992. So rook e1 check, what's our intention? How do you want to break this pin? Are you going to play bishop e7 or bishop e6? If bishop e6, this is really annoying. Well, it's actually annoying, I guess, in either case. It's still annoying even here, although here you could play bishop d7. It's probably not that bad. I mean, takes, d4. I imagine that black is only a tiny bit worse here. But you don't want to be worse against the Bodler. This opening is so stupid for white. He's playing black for no reason. So, yeah, I mean, if you play, let's see, bishop d6, I guess d4. Yeah, it feels like we're ending up in a French somehow. It goes against the whole concept. I don't like Move 11's concept of playing d5. More evidence that it's like an inferior Tarash. Where white doesn't have his knight on this stupid d2 square. Why do we want to play the Sicilian so we can get a Tarash where white doesn't have to put his knight on that stupid square d2? It just doesn't seem like a good idea. Maybe this isn't so bad though. Let's see. If rook e1 check, bishop e7, or rook e1 check, bishop e6. I was thinking about this. Maybe you can sack a pawn. If you want to play a master of the past, maybe we could get real crazy and just sack that, Screw you. We play for the initiative. Joseph Henry Blackburn. Maybe the whole idea is to give him a pawn. That's not the question, Cabbage. The wrong question. The right question is, who cares? It's like the Muppet Show. So, I'm here to do, serious game analysis. Not interested in kids playing bullet chess. If chess was about 1 minute games, I would probably be doing something else. Alright. d4. Well, I don't think I was that diplomatic, but just my opinion. Long-standing opinion. So this is crazy. Alright. d4, c4. Now, Don't like that a lot, but it's playable. B3, good move. He plays C4. I don't know how we have time for this. B3. And I don't know, man. When did Move 11 play this? Oh, this is a recent game. I think he was playing blindfolded. My only guess. This is like a Move 11 blindfold game. This opens up Bishop A3 possibilities for white. Why do you guys like A6? I don't understand. What is A6? Why? How do we have time for A6 in this position? Our king is in the middle of the board. There's an open file. Yeah, it's just crazy. Extremely risky. Now, this is important. I don't know if white should take. I mean, while it's nice to mess up black's pawn structure, at the end of the day, I mean, obviously rook e1 is a good move. But I think, like, the traditional, like, exchange of dark square bishops, I don't like the look of that, man. After rook check, bishop e6, and now I like white here. I mean, this probably lets black get out of the frying pan. I don't think that Move 11 has any business playing a6 with his king in the center on an open file. But white takes here. Honestly, don't know if I would even want to recapture or not. This is such a sick move now. Queen e2 check. Can you say materialistic? Say it with me, kids. Materialistic. Queen e2 check. It's probably not that bad of a move, but yeah. And black's out. You know, he's out. And the extra pawn doesn't matter that much. This is a good move, though. At least white had the presence of mind to find bishop a3. Still, I think you should consider taking. Tough call. The knight will be stuck on the side, but also it might get to c4 faster. Yeah, there was queen d5. And white is like out of his mind. There's no way I'm taking the pawn on c6 here. I mean, dude, please. This is absurd. Queen takes c6. You're up a pawn already. What does it matter if you're up two? It's like committing suicide. His king side's about to get trashed with bishop d5. The stream jumped ahead. How does it do that? Where is everyone? Where did they go? Get back here. What kind of person takes this pawn on c6? Are you crazy, Holmes? You just committed suicide. And I don't understand what's wrong with bishop d5. I like how patient Move 11 was here. This might actually be a mistake, though. Maybe he was too patient. I don't want to trade queens, no matter what. You cannot trade queens in this position. Why don't you take first? Take first and ask questions later. You have to take first, play this, and now bishop d5, and I... Oh, no. He has this. Uh-oh. Wait for it. Oh, man. This is a problem. It's not enough. Damn, I didn't see that. That's a problem. So that's probably why he played this. And this is the problem here. So, okay. You're screwed. You have to trade queens now. Well, I mean, you're not screwed, but you just, like, probably, like, saw your winning chances go down the toilet. The last thing black wants here is to trade queens. Yeah, it's probably draw-ish. White's structure is just totally destroyed. But he is up 2 pawns. But he's got to be careful. I guess black should give consideration to alternatives like rook d8. But it's probably nothing. I don't know about this now. I think we should keep surveillance on that. I want to make sure we can't lose, you know, so probably rook d8. I expect rook d1. I mean, this is a draw, right? But if he wants to win, he has to play like that. And then we just chill with some move that makes lift. Objectively, it's probably a draw. You like knight a3 better? Uh-huh. It didn't occur to me. I love knight a3. It's such an awesome square. Now, anyway, black's fine. Too many weaknesses. Yeah. I guess c4 is okay. But maybe one should think about, like, just cashing in for the draw here. He's in 1875 playing a 22-22. If you play knight e4, you force an exchange of knights. And there's no way you're losing this. Knight takes f6, pawn f6. It's 100% draw. Black's rook is on the 7th, but there's no way that's enough. You know, it's enough in some blitz games to maybe get lucky. He should take the draw. This is risky for black too, though. Not sure what he's doing exactly. Black needs to take care of the back rank, you know. I think he's trying to set up some kind of knight e6 thing where he's blockading. Wow, g5, interesting. This is also reasonable. Yeah, move 11 created very strange complications. But I'm not really sure if he's trying to win or lose. Yeah, he's just messing this up. I don't know if it's because he was trying too hard to win. Maybe h4 should be considered. I don't think the doubled h pawns are gonna hurt anybody, you know. No, I think like black actually has to be careful here. Oh, h4. Yeah, this is a good move. This is pretty useful. h3 is horrible. He drops the pawn with check, leaving black with a crushing outside passer. Like protected passer. That's crazy. Do we have problems? Yeah, you got to get behind that. Oh, it's almost mate. You checked him out. You checked him out? Check him out. Check it out! I don't want to check him out. You know, I would probably play like that, but I guess that walks into knight d4. Huh. So what are we going to do? h4? Just go h4. h4. Check it out, Wendy. Then he has time for knight d4. This is a very sharp ending. Preventing, like... Oh man, that's preventing a... So preventing rook c2. Here, here. I mean, man, this is freaking insane. You know, like anything could happen there. This is a totally insane position. Leave rook on f2. Interesting. Do we have a mate? We're close to a mate, huh? c7's not a problem. Knight c5 can be met by h4. It looks interesting, Zen chess. There's h4 check followed by king g6. There definitely looks like there's mating nets here. I assume this is good. Wow, he has knight c5. Let's see. Oh, that blocks the c-pawn. h4 check. King g4. Wow. Wow. What? Here. 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 That's not what we planned. Wow, so that didn't work out. Yeah, that's an amazing move, knight c5. Let's check this out. There's a win here. Rook c2 right away. So my instinct was right not to check him out. But there's some kind of weird variation that I didn't see. Here. You're probably winning. 3 connected passed pawns is pretty good. I don't like checking him out, but it's good enough. This is good enough. It looks like move 11 had it. Now the 3 connectors are nice. Connector or. This is over. Cute. Thank you. Alright, good game. Convincing victory. It was a little murky there. The guy missed a chance to draw with 94. He regrets that to this day. So I've got Arsenal fan, and then we're going to do Zen chess. Arsenal fan, Zen chess. Husky, Mule Skinner, and Lakey. This is Arsenal fan with black. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have been a win. I don't like the way that move 11 played the opening at all. That's, like, very sloppy. So Arsenal fan black in the Benoni. This is an OTB game? Clearly student of mine. Yeah, he plays just like me. Everybody sees that. He's playing training games every day against Schieberspieler. No, I'm just kidding. Move 11 is normally not like me. Very different player. Knight c3, g6. Hopefully I have an influence on people in a good way. e4, bishop g7, and then the unusual bishop e5 check. Yeah, you see a lot of people play this. I don't know. I feel like we faced it. I've played it once or twice, maybe even with white. It's never clear to me what black should do here. Asterbate, do not play knight fd7. I played this against Asterbate. He did that, like it was the flick knife variation with f4. You do not play knight fd7 in this variation. Just remember. The other moves are playable. I don't definitively know which I like better, to be perfectly honest. Maybe I like bishop d7 better. After a4, you castle. Now you're threatening bishop g4, and you're threatening the e-file as well. You're basically threatening rook e8 and bishop g4. No, so if castles, you go bishop g4. What if they play like a retreating move? Well, you're going to play bishop g4. You answer your own question. If they play bishop e2, yeah, I don't know. I guess you have to play bishop g4. And then that. And then you trade. And their position looks a little weird, but it's probably going to transpose to my game with Excel Poker the other day. Rook e8, castles, knight bd7, knight c4, knight b6, something like that. It's nothing. You're threatening this now. No, you're fine. It's a good position. You're not worse, for sure. Alright, so you tried the knight on bd7. I don't know which is better. No clue. White has a good score here, though. It's a strange variation. Wow. So you sack the pawn. Dude, is this an over-the-board game? Hey, so good stream so far. King00125. What possible tips would you suggest for someone who's possibly interested in, well, doing a bit of being a chess coach? Big question. That's one I've never gotten before. Tips about being a chess coach. Well, don't try to force your style on other people. And don't, don't focus too much on tactics. I think strategy is more important. Those are a couple of tips I would say. Opening is not as important as the middle game and the end game. Don't try to force my ideas and openings on other people. Try to encourage people to be creative. Okay, bishop f4. Yeah, I don't know this. That's a big question. Yeah, people can learn tactics. I think strategy is hard to learn. You got to help guide them strategically. Of course, like one can help one learn how to learn to calculate. You can help people learn how to calculate. But a lot of times people ask me like, "Oh, do you give homework where I have like tactics puzzles to solve?" And honestly, I don't do lessons where we spend time doing puzzles. Although maybe occasionally, just to give people an idea how to solve a puzzle, I would never waste time on that stuff. Anyway, too general question to answer. Bishop f4. Wow, what a move, dude. You said this is over the board? A rapid pleat earlier. Okay. Oh yeah, I'm crazy. Okay, so it's a screen name. Thanks for the gift sub from Masturbate. Wow, so Daniel Dverney. There's one well-known player. Yeah, I mean, it's a classic pawn sacrifice in other variations, other bishop f4. You know, the main line with bishop f4. The old queen a4 check line, here, here. The old bishop f4, bishop g7, queen a4 check. Yeah, this line, there's a lot of sacrifices involving the d6 pawn, for example. Yeah, so that's an adventurous idea. I mean, obviously you could protect the pawn, and when you protect the pawn, if you protect the pawn, like, if you're choosing a square, I can't emphasize enough, you know, how bad a square the c7 square is for pieces, especially in the King's Indian, but even here in the Benoni. It's a little better than the King's Indian, because sometimes you can, like, push c4, but I think you've got to almost always have to lean toward queen e7, because at least the queen has, like, mobility in a couple of directions. On this square, the queen is just really badly placed. Not so much that you're going to get hit by knight b5, but I think it just doesn't have any scope, you know. King's Indian, it's even worse, though. So, okay, castles, bishop takes d6, rook e8, I was expecting. Now, I didn't see what you did here. Nice. I didn't see this. I mean, I thought we'd just do, like, rook e8. Does that not work? But I guess you're right. You're right to calculate this line first. It's more forcing. My brain fog's acting up again. I don't want to calculate long variations this time of night. But, okay, knight takes e4. You've got queen a5. That's a big component. But I'm not sure if that's what you're looking for here. Knight takes e4, queen a5 check. Knight c3, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes b5, bishop takes f8. We're down the exchange. That's not going to fly. There's a lot of instances where that works, but this is not going to fly here. So it has to be your rook e8. You know, and so that's the kind of standard, like, you pin it and win it, where you're going to have to play f5. The problem is a lot of times when you play f5 in these type of positions, you weaken your king side. You know, so if you have to play f5, you know, now this square is weak. You might see a knight coming to g5 later. It just doesn't look like he has time here. Okay, like there. You swipe a piece. So bishop d3 is out of the question. He has to play knight d2. If he wants to defend it, it would have to be knight d2. Yeah, well, that too. You have that as well. Okay, so this is better. This is better in both, yeah, anyway, because you stay on the diagonal. You don't want to bring that bishop back. You know, and then there's other problems, like you have there, you know. You can just, like, attack both pieces simultaneously. Maybe that's not good enough, though. Bishop takes d7. Yeah, this would be too slow. So anyway, you need to get the piece back now. Now, I said. Okay, so, well, I mean, f5 is normal. So the evaluation at the end is like, okay, here, what's going on? I mean, have I weakened my king side badly? Is this pawn overextended? Do I have enough activity to justify losing my f-pawn? What's up with these hanging bishops? There's a lot of questions. But I mean, it certainly looks unclear at the very least. I think it makes sense. It's got to be the best line. What can he do otherwise? He's got to take rook e8. You know, so his question is to just give the piece back or play knight d2. He just gives the piece back, and now you took. Now white won this one game here. I recognize Kontin. That's a known player. But I mean, you've got a good structure now. Both his bishops are unprotected. His d5 pawn becomes weak. You have threats like rook b4, rook d4 if his knight moves. This actually looks really good for you. Man, white lost. I mean, white won this position after bishop takes d7. Are you serious? So he just took the pawn on c5 or what? Wow. I mean, think about this position here. White won this position. I'm not even sure black made the right recapture on d7, or maybe bishop takes. Because we've got this raging bishop here. The possibility of a second bishop coming to like g4. You know? What did you plan? You're very, very active here. I don't care about this extra pawn. Your bishops are awesome. You know, he has a bad structure. I'm not sure bishop g4 is right, though. You can just play like bishop b5, too. It looks kind of weird there. Rook e1. Rook e1. Knight e1. Bishop takes b2. Yeah, this is not really ideal. We gotta be careful. So it's tricky. The way black played it, he left himself like bottled up. I'm not sure that was the right idea. What about like b6? I mean, I guess he plays bishop a3, right? Bishop b7. Dude, he could be lost so fast, like d6, rook g4. Threatening rook takes g2 check. Look how dangerous this position is. You're threatening to like win immediately. White's rooks aren't even in the game. And you're threatening rook takes g2. It's extremely dangerous. There's also like rook f4. Threatening to sack. You can do like rook takes f3, for example. I mean, I'd be very surprised if his black is just like clearly better. Yeah, it's like plus point. It's only plus point 1. b6. But b6 is best move. Yeah, this guy didn't find it. He played artificially with queen b5. So, it's a tough call. The recapture is a tough call. But the computer likes bishop takes better. And after bishop c5, it's playing queen a5. But it looks like it's really, really tough to call. But black's fine. Yeah, no way you should lose. Okay, so what happened in the game? Queen d2 was played. That's a novelty, defending b2. But he's going to drop d5. So it's probably an equal game. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it matters, like where you move the knight. Maybe f6 is better. There might be a chance it goes to e4. Here, here, and then... I mean, you got to think outside the box. You know, you always want to look for an unexpected move. Not too much, like move 11. Well, I'm afraid you got to just trade queens here. And you're just very slightly better because of that bishop on g7 attacking b2. I suspect white might be able to survive to a draw. But I mean, you do have to keep in mind other moves. You could possibly play that. Pinning yourself looks dangerous, to say the least. You know, I don't know about pinning myself. I don't think I want to do that. You got to take with the queen. Now, here, b2 is hanging. Here, yeah, and he's got knight g5. We can't let him get to the back rank. I mean, knight c7, rook d8 check, you're just lost. So, you kind of had to do this, and he has knight g5. This is reminding me of Sumeir's game now, wow. It's pretty similar. You have f4, knight takes f4. Luckily. All calculated. So you just took, and you took, and you're drifted into bad structure. Very similar to the Sumeir game. It's hard to say what you did wrong. Man, that's annoying. Do you have any alternatives? There's no alternative. Damn. Here. Knight c7 doesn't work. He has rook d8 check. It's amazing that black... I mean, white has every freaking square covered. All these squares. All these squares. That's very annoying. I don't think you had anything better. Yeah, I don't know where to go. Maybe you want to go here? This might be playable. Maybe rook e4. Because you have this square. You have a couple squares over there. I think this might be better. Rook f5 looks more out of play. I think the file might be important. If he tries to trade your rook off, it's alright. Like, I would just swap and play, you know, king f7 or something. Or is that not good? Do we have a problem here, Houston? We have a problem even here? Wow. That's annoying. Man, this is brutal. Right. Very awkward. Can you play rook f6? Phew. Here, your rook's getting trapped. Virtually trapped. He has stuff like this. Man, this is unbelievable. How did this happen? How did this freaking happen? So just this like take here. It looks like the right move. I mean, is there any advantage in doing this? Knight b6? He would still take there. It wouldn't matter at the end. You have this move, but I don't think it's really good. I wonder if Arsenal has a secondary move somewhere. Like bishop f5 or some kind of developing move. Do we have to take the pawn right away? Yeah, I mean, I'm just wondering if you have an in-between move. Bishop g4. That's it. I found it without the engine. You go bishop g4. This is still hanging, and you're threatening to like trash his kingside structure. Like that could be serious, you know, like the move 11 game we saw. No, man, it's very safe to assume you're okay. I assumed you were okay too. This could have just as easily happened to me. Maybe you have b6 here? No, that's bad. Man, this is brutal. So you're really struggling for life now. Oof. I wish we could just sack the exchange or something. How about like rook g4? It looks really awkward. Takes. Bishop d7 feels even worse here. But maybe not. I'm suspecting that rook f5 is a mistake. Here. And now you're stuck. Is there a move? Yeah, you're way too... You're just kind of messed up here. Wow. Can you survive this? Oh my god, are you serious? The guy plays bishop e7 check? Oh, that's evil. And he wins the exchange. I hope this guy doesn't have like 100 cent upon, 0 cent upon loss or something. He just won a clean exchange and it's over. This guy didn't have like a perfect game or something, was it? Nah. Couldn't be. He's not a computer, right? I doubt he's a computer. Although at the end he played like kind of like an engine. Oof. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, anybody with the name Noob you gotta be a little suspicious of. I'm not saying he was using an engine, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. That bishop e7 move was kind of brutal. He used all his time, though. I mean, I'm paranoid that everybody is an engine. So I'm just purely speculating. Yeah, that was tough, man. It was easy to misjudge queen d5. It looks like you're completely equal. Alright, next game. It's Zen Chess. Zen Chess. Finally. Repeat versus Zen Chess. 2264. Sorry, Zen Chess versus Repeat. Well, I think the most interesting about that game is how it went downhill for you. You had to be precise. Those little moves. So, Zen Chess plays the dry. No, not necessarily. We've got a normal Joko. Okay. Knight f6, d4, nice. At least a little more interesting than d3. E takes d4, e5, d5, bishop b5. So, I don't know, like, what about bishop e2? Aronian also plays this. I faced both moves. I think the bishop e2 move, like, people would be a little less prepared for that, because I would assume, like, almost everyone plays bishop b5. It has some independent value. I mean, I guess it takes some of the steam out of bishop g4 type of pins. Yeah, so here, I've always tried to play bishop b6, but the last time I played bishop b4 check, I was getting sick of it. But it seems like bishop b6 is objectively the more, like, dynamic move. This is playable for black. Here, I don't know anything about this line from white's perspective. I've only attempted to play it with black. So, castles is definitely right. And now, I think someone played h3 against me. The key break is, of course, f6. I did have one game, probably in this line, where I tried to play bishop e6 to shore up my d5. But I think like that move's kind of slow. So you played bishop e3. Now, I know that f6 is like... Okay, Mickey also may play these kind of lines. Astrobate gifts to rid shoot. But you know, one thing that black can do is like move this knight over to e7. So like, what's the deal with that? Knight e7. Bishop d3. Thanks, Astrobate, for gifting. There's some high-level games here. It looks like. Not real recent, of course. This isn't like a hot opening. F5. And then I don't know. So knight e7 is interesting. Alright, so you played bishop e3, black plays f6. I guess this is a main line. Obviously this diagonal can be dangerous. Yeah. I think I had one game in this. In Blitz. So now he takes. And that's never been played. Well, not in the master database. There's probably like a million games on lichess. Well, there's got to be a very good reason why no one's ever played this move in the master games. There has to be something seriously wrong with it. Bishop a5 is really, really surprising. That was played by Anand. These are really recent relative to other games. These games, 2017-18 is fairly recent. No, it looks like that move's playable. I think I might have played this. I think I might have had a game with Ripon. Let's see. Nope. Maybe he didn't find queen b3. It was something similar. I mean, basically black's sacrificing a piece here. But the E file is so hot. I don't like what happened here. What happened here? So he plays this, which is a totally new move. Are you supposed to take on c6? And you did, right? But you have other options. You could take here. Knight takes e5. This doesn't look right. This isn't right. I mean, I don't want black like taking on e3. I mean, I don't think so. But I guess we should keep going. Still not sure what's going on. I guess he just like backs off. Now black just has the bishop pair. Yeah. Yeah. I think you can safely assume that. You have crazy in-between moves. Knight takes d5. Like, what's that about? Bishop e6. Pleasant. I don't think that's good. We can throw that in the rubbish bin. Man. So you can't do that. Okay, so takes on c6. And now he does this. Yeah. So why did you take on e4? I guess that's the question, right? So this is just a mistake. Why don't you just take on e5? You're like Mr. Nimzovich. Doesn't look like black has any particular threats. I got my bishop trapped in one game. The guy did a4 and I let him do a5 or something. It's ridiculous. That was a slightly different position. Yeah, I mean, so what's going to happen? c5? This is really sharp, actually. But I guess c5, knight c6. I'm not sure what black's supposed to do here. Queen f6? No, knight e4 is hanging. Let's see what the engine says. Wow. Knight takes f2 castles. Everybody would see that. Knight takes f2 castles. It looks like one of Roman's lines in the Two Knights defense. Or the Scotch Gambit, I mean. Yeah, knight takes c5 is best. Yeah, it looks like you played it right. You should just do knight takes. This is interesting, though. I bet there's games in lichess. Oh, only one game. Wow. Amazingly, only one game of this position has been reached. And black played the ultra lame knight takes c3. And now there's like a bunch of games. Playboy Bunny. Yeah, this is just like, wow, now they're just multiplying. Now there's 7 games of this position. Bishop a6. And then the old a4. That's what I'm like, oh my god, my bishop's trapped. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get out of this lichess database. Now we have a real game. Vladislav Kovalev against the cheater. Yeah, black's in serious trouble here. Wow. So bishop a6 is a blunder. This whole thing sucks. So this is like a new move. Knight takes e5, knight takes f2. You have to castle, and then he plays knight g4. It looks like black's just barely equalizing. But no, the engine says no. White's still better. Very sharp position. Rook takes f1 check, rook takes f1. Queen e8. Double attack. You got a great move here. That is awesome. And now king h8. That's a tough one. So we reach some kind of crazy position with ops-colored bishops. Look how active black's pieces are. Black's like down, he's down a pawn, but it doesn't seem that bad. Very active pieces. All coordinated on the white squares. I mean, if I were black here, I'd be optimistic I can hold. But it looks like that's critical. So knight e4 is inaccurate, and this looks crazy. Yeah, this is a really strong move by the guy. What else is he gonna do, though? Like, someone suggested rook takes f3. That's interesting, actually. Pawn takes. Pawn takes. I mean, I'd be scared of this with you, for you. This looks scary. To be honest. But maybe white... I don't know. Yeah, this looks scary. You shouldn't be involved in this. Knight takes e4 is definitely a mistake. Takes here, here. Was there a better move, like queen e8 or something? Does it matter where he puts his queen? But it feels like black's fine now. There's no danger for black here whatsoever. I mean, you're like a pawn down. You're down 4-2 on the queen side. That's a very scary situation. And I don't think you should fix his pawns, but can't you play like something else here? He has rook takes f3. You have this. You don't want to allow bishop a6 thing, so maybe do the other rook. But don't you have rook e1? Oh, he has rook f3? Are you serious? Wow. Rook f3, queen f3? This is crazy. Right? Man. My head hurts. Rook f3, queen f3. You can't take on d4, you have to trade queens. But this looks good for black, right? We're just winning. That's just game over. Is it game over, isn't it? Is it not game over? Check here. Rook e1. My head hurts, but it's got to be better for black. This is just not good. I don't understand. What do you mean taking on c6 right away? Not taking on c6 right away? Well, what do you want to play if you don't take on c6 right away? There is no other good move. That's the problem. You want to take on e4 first? Well, we could look at it. I'm not sure it matters. Objectively. I mean, I don't know what future our bishop has on b5. And we definitely can't take here until we get rid of that knight. So here, I mean, this is a problem now. d4 can't be captured. No, I think it's an issue. Like, we can't capture on d4 until we get rid of the knight on c6. Is there bishop g5 or something weird? Like queen d7? Is white like winning a piece here? Huh. Like, if this works, then it makes sense. He might have this again. Rook takes, pawn takes, then take, and now like bishop g5. What's the material? We're down a rook. Black's just down a rook. So here, oh my god, there's a freaky move, knight a5. But the computer wants to play that. And now on bishop g5, queen e8. I didn't think he could do this. Wow. Yeah, so if queen takes d5 check, bishop e6. The black queen is trapped. So now you have to play bishop takes c6. B takes c. The black queen is not trapped because of this. This is just a freaky engine line. It's amazing stuff. Just an absolutely crazy position. White is up a piece and like completely lost. Yeah, apparently it is important to eliminate black's control of the center. So I think Zen Chess played okay. But he should have taken with the knight there. Yeah, but I don't like this anymore. We're just down a pawn here with very little compensation. I don't like fixing a structure. I mean, this is a very simplified position now. This queenside majority is like winning for black. Feels like down 2 pawns. Yeah. Yeah, that's really not something we want to do. You know, you do not want to take here on b6. So I said this, right? And then we said rook takes f3. keep feeling like there's something here. This does not look promising. Yeah, that's gross. So basically, Zen chess, could you do the other way? It doesn't really matter, does it? Rook e8 check, what? What are you talking about? In which line? Oh, here? Winning? Wait, you have that. Here, check, king f7, and take. No, it's not winning. Winning? Unfortunately not. Winning for black. Yeah. The forever Bodler. If we can avoid taking on b6, maybe we can save the position. Keep feeling like there's something here. Do we have any sort of in-between move? Here, rook takes f3. What about an in-between move here? Are we missing anything? Like queen c... no, queen a4. Maybe white has something still. It's just lost. So Zen chess had to exchange. He had to exchange on b6. This sucks. Now he's... I mean, even AB is good too, but I think this is probably better. You're lost here, but you have some chances. Maybe rook on the 7th? No? I don't think you got anything from rook e5. Why not this? That's strong. You always want to get the rook on the 7th rank. Not so easy. Okay, this is a problem. You have that. Objectively, maybe that's better. Because you just forced him back to f6, and now he covers the 7th. Oh. So you're saying queen f5, rook e7? Bishop e6? No. Does that really work? Looks dangerous for black. There's some tricks here. Queen c3, yeah. This and this. I think he's got to play bishop d7 or something of that like style. But rook e7 is better. I think rook e5 doesn't do anything. Well, you double your rooks, but rook e7 was a better way to do it. Now you forced him to like guard c6 and e7, which only helped black ultimately. You also like forced him to mobilize, you know, his bishop. Yeah, rook e5 was a bad move. That only helped him. So you're lost here. That's a funny position. But there's always chances. Doesn't look good. Comes the two connectors. Pretty hopeless. You can never go into king and pawn in game. h3. Yeah, this was painful. The guy gave you a draw? He was low on time. Zenchess was flagging him. Oh, you got an actual perpetual. I thought it was an interesting choice to play h3 rather than h4. Alright, we've got move 11's done. Husky. Who else is left in the list? Well, what just happened here? That was weird. Okay, it's too late to submit games, but you can submit them for next week. Shack, if you're a subscriber. Aflac. Yeah, Zenchess, 47 against 49 CPL. Solid draw. Flagging master. Where the hell is my study? I can't get back to my study. Help me. I don't know, I have no back button anymore. Alright. Thanks everyone for supporting the stream and tuning in while we analyze interesting games submitted to the stream by the subscribers. Thanks to all of you for hanging out with me. Put Zenchess in twice? What is that? Why is that? Alright. So, Arsenal fan done. We only have Husky and Lecky remaining. Thank God, it's been a long night, but it's fun. I like analyzing. Part of being a good chess player. A critical part. Oh, Mule Skinner. Mule Skinner is first. So 3 games remaining. Last 3. Alright, Mule is never... I can never get his studies open. A game for Thursday analysis. It's game 5. You're black. 90-30 over the board game. La Liga. Alright. Game 5. Move 11. I thought we did this last week. It's a different game. Alright, let's check it out. Check it out! The good old exchange variation. Where's Mr. Coffee? Is he here? He's probably working. Wait, it's St. Patrick's Day. Wait, that's not a national holiday, right? It's a holiday in Boston. I used to live in Boston, so I started thinking it was like a national holiday. Is that a check it out reference? No, I just like when he says it in The Shining. It's a Jack Nicholson. Check it out, Wendy. Yeah, it's gross. It's gross when people play this against the French. It's hard being a French player. It's enough to make someone not want to play the French at all, honestly. Bishop d6, knight e2, and now knight f6. You know, so the conventional way of playing is like knight e7. I've said before on the stream that I was surprised. Years ago, I knew this player online who played with one of my students. The guy is an IM or a master, and he would play this pathetic stuff with white. And he played Rajabov, and Rajabov played this way with black to beat like a 2300 player, essentially. Castle on the same side, and played bishop f5. I was really surprised, you know, because all the aggressive players think, oh, you have to play like Aliakin and castle queenside and take these crazy risks. But Rajabov just like ground the guy down in a boring position. It is possible to do it, you know. Alright, knight e2 is a weird move. Let's just start with that. It's not weird, but it's kind of not very aggressive. Most people would play, what, like queen f3? Or knight f3, I would assume. According to the Opening Explorer, knight e2 is the main move. I can't imagine it's the best move, though. Yeah, it's like 4th best move according to Stockfish. Knight e2 is it's kind of insipid. Okay, third best move, fourth best move. This because people are like purposefully playing for a draw with the white pieces when they play the exchange variation. This is no way this is like white's best move. It's okay with black, but I mean, queen f3 is sharper. That's at least a little interesting. And of course you could play like knight c3, like a win-over exchange, which is also a little more interesting. Howie likes the exchange French. Howell. Yeah, it takes a special place in hell. There's a special place in hell for people who play the London system and the exchange French. Bishop d6. This is boring. Knight e2. Knight f6. I mean, alright, if your opponent is going to play knight e2, maybe we should avoid playing knight e7. It's probably good to do, something other than what he's doing. And Mule Skinner probably wants to win. He's facing a low-rated player. So knight e7, bishop f5, not so interesting. This was a little surprising. It doesn't make sense to play like knight e2 and then not play bishop f4. Is that just weird, or is it me? Oh, Hassan David, Hungarians here, against Bala Gimre. Yeah, I mean, bishop g5 is just a strange move. No, I mean, the whole idea is to play for a draw with bishop f4. And that's why they belong in hell with the London system guys. So this move at least shows he has some either lack of knowledge or aggressive intentions. So maybe he doesn't play it because he wants to draw. He just doesn't know what else to play. So what do we do here? Well, speaking of c5, I mean, honestly, like, I guess that's a move, but not the greatest here. I know you're not talking about this position. So h6, I guess. It's not my favorite move. Is there anything wrong with castling, though, objectively? I was thinking about c5, but it feels a little like it's too much. So take, bishop takes, I guess castles. It should be playable. Maybe knight c3 is coming next. There's an actual game. The good player is black. Knight c3, and we transpose to something. Probably not great though. This is like a weird win-over exchange. I don't know. But that's better than what white did. I mean, but this is risky for Mule Skinner to play c5. He plays this. Okay, this has got to be like a sound move. Knight bd7 has to be okay. It's very safe. Castles. And now bishop takes h2 check. So I think king h1 deserves serious consideration. Objectively, this move deserves very serious consideration. I mean, in a practical game, once I had a game in the Caro-Kann, some kind of 97 Caro-Kann, with FIDE Master Boris Basinski back in the 1990, I think. My first breakthrough tournament. I actually won the game as black, where he like had bishop takes h7, and I just had to play king h8. I blundered. I lost the pawn. I just played king h8 and went on and eventually like won the game. I mean, objectively, this guy has got to be practical here. He made a blunder, and he needs to admit it and just try to keep the game complicated. King h2 is just going down a pawn in an endgame where you're just, it's almost an endgame. This is just like stupid. I mean, unless you have king g3 and you're winning a piece or something. He tries it. Wow. Is that a game? No. No, that game's not in the database. Liberty Bell Open 1990. That is not in the database, to my knowledge. Knight g4 check, king g3. Okay, so this guy is... He's going to try like f4. Holy moly. So that's the point of this game. Did we screw up? No, I don't think so. Alright, so f4. Now honestly, like, Muleskinner should have had this worked out in advance. But I'm going to assume here that even if you move away with like queen somewhere, you probably have an awful lot of play. So say queen f6. Can he really play king takes g4? Looks like he really can. Okay, how about a different square? Queen h6, rook h1. We have knight e3 in some positions. It looks like it's not going to cut it. Thank you, Asterbait, donating Thomas Thornton. Thomas, welcome. Man, I am concerned here. Wow. So we blindly did bishop takes h2 check without really checking it through. I assumed it was good. I said white should play king h1 without really doing my due diligence here. So it occurred to me too late that he has this, king g3, queen takes g5, and now f4. This is a serious issue. Do I have anything? Do I have knight e3 in some variation? It doesn't look like it. Like, if you play queen h5, rook h1, knight e3, and then like queen c1 or something. Oh, you have g4 check. Wait a minute here. We have queen h5, rook h1, and then knight e3. We have this check. Hold on. Man, there's crazy stuff like queen e1, right? Whew, that could get crazy. Queen e1 with discoveries. Queen g4 check here. Oh, you have total chaos. My head hurts. Queen takes check, and then king takes e3. Looks like white's like better. Queen e1. Can I try a different move, like knight f5 check? Yes, you can. Yes, you can, and you should. Now he has to go back, and now we simply defend our freaking knight, right? Boom. This would be a bit of calculation. Bishop f5, queen f5, knight g3 check, queen e6. Everything's alright. That is crazy. So Muleskinner opted to give him the knight, which he took. Then there was knight e5 check, king g3, knight g4. And I don't know what's going on. I have a hunch that it might not be enough. But I want to know about this. So I want to check with the engine about queen h5. Yeah, my analysis is fairly accurate. You can play queen h5. You had to calculate this. Rook here, knight e3. Key move. And I looked at queen e1. I mean, obviously we have to mention this, but it looks like your knight is safe. You're threatening to get out here. You also can get out here and here. So as long as you're not losing a knight, you're perfectly, doing fine. Mubot needs more training. So this was a safe continuation. That's the best line. Wow. And now, interestingly, the computer says that if you're gonna sack the knight, your best square is queen e7. And I guess it makes sense. Why does it make sense? Why e7? Because on f6 you don't have knight f6 check. Why is e7 the best way to sack a knight here? Possibility of queen e3 in some positions. But I think that Mule Skinner should have found that other line. Hey, what's up, Mr. Coffee? So this obstructs the knight from f6. He's planning on playing knight e5, though. Yeah, that's a crazy game. Your opponent is obviously very, very hungry. He's like the Cookie Monster of material. This guy couldn't wait to get his hands on a free piece. He'll do anything for free pieces. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people wouldn't even enter this situation, but he was happy to do it. I don't know what I would have done. I might have just played king h1, like I said. I'd probably lean on the side of caution. So, now knight e5 check. But I want to check that one other line with queen e7. Why is this better? Queen e7, king g4. Wow. So you have a secret move here, queen e3 in between move, threatening to like mate him. But it's still not convincing. Rook f3, knight e5 check. You win the exchange. So this is the point. Here, here, here. And I think like Mule Skinner might have gone for this if he had seen it. I mean, that certainly looks reasonable. Now we're talking about a rook and a pawn for two knights. I mean, pretty equal chances objectively in a normal everyday scenario. So that was best. So you ended up getting an unclear situation where you might not have enough compensation. But honestly, if I'm you, I think you should have sat there and used most of your time on this position. You've got to check this variation with queen h5. You got to check all the forcing lines. I mean, obviously queen h6 is possible as well. But I think, again, he can probably take the guy. Alright. I would have gone with queen h5. Here, 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 here. And now you're down a piece for a pawn. That's why the exchange French is good. Now, I expect like h5. That's a common idea. I mean, h5, h4 check. Although if h5, maybe he can play like rook h4. Blockading the threat of h4. I'm not sure how bad that is. It might be playable. There's some interesting lines like this. I don't know if that even does anything. So he played bishop d7 to castle. I mean, I think your expectation here against a low-rated player is pretty good, even down a piece with that kind of unsafe king. White has to be a very strong defensive player to avoid the danger here. I mean, you could play g5 at any moment, h5, h4. It's not easy for white. Now, I thought you would just like protect your d5 pawn. The knight looks really bad on c3. He could play knight a4, I guess. But you played h5. So what about knight d5? It's not a problem? This guy's shown a love for material, so I would be surprised if he takes that pawn on d5. If knight takes d5, h4 check, king f3. I'm not convinced about this. What are we doing? Like, what's the point? I don't understand it. What do we have here? This knight is like hanging. I mean, if bishop c6, he'll probably take your knight. That looks ridiculous, right? Take, but it's less pieces left. I mean, probably you're like losing here. If it's not mate, I think like white is winning. Yeah, he's sort of stuck out there. But I guess king h3. I have a bad feeling about this. You know, you can't allow trades. Horsey h6. So I don't know. I would have played c6 and just guarded your pawn. I can't believe he didn't take it, and now you castled. But now g4 is protected. You can meet knight takes d5 with bishop c6, which is pretty interesting. So this guy is now Mr. Conservative. He's no longer taking materials. I mean, e3 is really weak. e3 and f2, the h4 break. So this looks good. Queen d2, guarding that. It looks like you've got some h4s. Obviously g5 is possible. Is it enough? I don't know that it's enough. But I don't know what else to offer. I mean, it feels like you have to break through. Or maybe at some point play rook e3 check, king g2, and h4 or something. Do we have a threat here? We might have like h3. I don't know if it's enough. I really don't. This looks kind of slow under the circumstances. Knight d1, h4, okay. Knight f2. And now knight e3. Rook e3 check, very tempting. Don't you have rook e3? No. We better sacrifice something else. Oh man. I want to sacrifice something else. It's not enough. Oh my god, the guy did that? What? He did queen takes e3? Is that necessary? Master, that's not necessary, is it? Wow. I don't think it's necessary to take on e3. White has a lot of moves here. More horsies. I can't believe he did this. There's no way he has to do that. Now it looks messy. With that past h-pawn, you're probably better here. Yeah, I mean, that was a really unnecessary sacrifice. There's no way I'm sacrificing my queen there. Totally unnecessary. Now he's in a very dangerous spot. Yeah, this looks kind of hesitant. I mean, what about g5? It just gets too locked up. You're so close to breaking through here. He's going to try to like waddle over to the other side now. So you don't want to lock it completely. You might want to try like c5 or something. You have lateral mobility here, the dark squares. I think you're just better now. I'm going to mow down this guy. Yeah, I mean, queen h4 looks like a move, but I kind of like its ability to like play on the other side. If he starts running over there, we might want to be able to attack him. I don't really like g6. He's just making a waiting move. He went back to f3. Well, he has to defend the knight, I guess. But I guess he should objectively do something like, well, yeah, this is a double attack. Maybe you're right. It's a double attack. G6 isn't nothing. He stopped F5. So it's not such a bad idea. The G6 wasn't so pointless. Now he walks into a tactic. Man, you missed bishop takes G4 check. This just wins immediately. It's over after that. He's destroyed by this move. Neil Skinner didn't see it. Knight takes queen h3 check, and then you take the knight. That's destroying him. Oh, I didn't see that arsenal. No. I didn't see the idea of taking the rook. No, that's funny. No, I don't think that's that convincing. I don't like 3 pieces for the rook. Oh no. We're just gonna win the knight back right away. Check. King f2, queen takes g4. White has okay, a rook, knight, and bishop for the queen, and 2 pawns. But White has like no coordination. His king is very open. You're threatening rook h3. I think it's over. I think it's just over. White has no moves here. Block with the knight. Oh my god, are you serious? Thank you. Alright, you're right. It doesn't work. Oh man, I'm sorry. Thank you for somebody noticing the obvious move. The sacrifice doesn't work. Knight takes, queen h3 check, knight g3. Never mind. I don't think it works. I mean, you gotta double check. No. Shoot. Never mind. So Arsenal's line, yeah, it was even a better try than mine, but it's still, this is not going to fly. So we need another way to leverage it open. But I don't like putting the queen on h4. So this, he just takes, I guess. I still think that black's awfully close to winning here. What about just check? Let's just check. And then if here we can just simply invade at e3. What's wrong with this? It's still not over, right? Knight g3 again. I mean, we're dropping the 2 rooks for the queen. I think this is unclear. Can you surround my pawn? Very messy situation. But I'll take the rook and the pawn for the 2 knights. Bob. We have tactics here with like rook e3 and something. Black is better. Rook a1 with the idea of rook a2. Wow. Yeah, there's that. That's a neat idea. Yeah, so it's tough, but Mule Skinner was better. Okay, queen h4 here, here. He may find the plan now. Yeah, not trading rooks, probably a good idea. And that's just weird. White should stay on his side of the board. This is crazy. F5's insane. And White's just lucky he's not lost. Now he should just try to hold it. This weakens his dark squares. Look at that. You're just asking for it, man. If I get in there, that is a very bad idea. Another dark square f4. Ooh, the queen gets in there. White just did it to himself. He's lucky he's not losing directly. Wow. Ooh, hanging by a thread. We have bishop e8 here. How do you defend that? Bishop e8. Triple exclam. Yeah. Looks like white's gonna slowly fall apart. White was overly aggressive. I like this plan, but I think it was stronger to do bishop e8. Amazingly, the engine cleans that white can hold. White's holding after bishop e8. Unbelievable. King g2. He can hold this. I can't believe it. I would be banging my head on the wall if I'm not winning this. But still, Mule Skinner is better. c5 is a mistake. What an interesting game. This is a nice try. Especially if white's in time pressure. What? Wow. I like how this guy's 1500. 1650, sorry. He played a crazy game. Don't like the structure. Oh man. We gotta get the rook around to the other side now. Yep. See, he stopped him. White defended really well for his rating level. Man. Previous 15 moves in 30-second ink. So, the game couldn't be recorded. What was the result? Is my question. Before resignation, but that's not very specific. Is Mule Skinner here? I don't know who resigned, to be honest with you. Any guesses? We have no checks? Man. That's a crazy game. Alright. I don't know what to say. Last games. Husky. Husky. That was an awesome game. We got to do these last games quickly. I'm running out of time. Important day tomorrow. Alright. I have a stream in the morning. Gonna play a poker tournament tomorrow night. They finally are taking away rules where you have to wear masks at the poker club. That'll be fun. You need to go to sleep. Take care, man. Arsenal, thanks for joining us. What am I doing? Alright, puzzle. Learn, study, practice, study. Yes. Alright, my studies. What's the buy-in? Just $150. It's just a small club tournament. But it'll be nice. I haven't played in ages in anything. It'll probably be 100 players. It's basically it's like a 10-player sit and go almost. It's just longer blind levels. Alright. Where are we? Here. I'm jealous of the people that are European Poker Tour Prague. I used to go. I went over a couple times, but it hadn't occurred to me. Usually it was in December and they canceled it. And then they started, but I can't get that much time off to play poker anymore. Okay, where is our Husky game? I didn't put it in there. We had a game versus Pop G. That's late keys. But Husky, I failed to put in the study. Where the hell is it? Am I hallucinating? There it is. 10 hours ago. No, it's regular. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there's no way there would be enough players here to play like a sizable Omaha tournament. I'm sorry that Omaha isn't more popular. Even online, it's hard to find enough Omaha tournaments. So, what do we do? You sent me a message. Here it is. Yep. It was game 4. You wanted to go over. I'll read it out. Damn it. Go away. Messages. Yeah, okay. Game 4. Yeah, the only poker club in Budapest is pretty small. It can only accommodate like maximally like 200 players. It's like the government just doesn't give out certificates to people to open poker clubs. We had a blossoming poker scene in the 2000 in the low to mid 2000s, but it's all gone. C4, E6, G3, Knight F6, Bishop G2. Husky's white. This is game 1. Sorry, this is game 4. He's black. He's black. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean D4 objectively best. White played the best move too. I looked this guy up, so he's like 1980 FIDE. Pop G rating with a party of 37. Ukraine strong. Pop G, thanks for the raid. Mr. Coffee, can you make chat open? There he is. All right, he got it. Thank you, man. Good to see Grandmaster Pop G. He's been doing streams to like raise money for charity for Ukraine. It's really cool. So check him out. And I mean, sometimes I try to raid his stream if he happens to be streaming before me. Grandmaster, great player, and charitable streamer. So check him out, PopG91 here on Twitch. If you're not watching me, check him out. Thank you, man, for the raid. We're going over a couple games and then we're out of here. So Husky plays C5. That's the move 11 move. That's the move 11 variation. The main line is F6. I had a really ugly game with this the other day. Against you, right? Wait, that was you? No, that was someone else. Was it? It wasn't you. Who was it that played this against me? Was it you? Oh shit, it was you. Right. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, Bishop G4 is another solid move for black, I guess. You know, and alternatively, I think once I played with Chom, I don't know if I had a game with Chom where he did G6 against me. I think we had a game in the Hungarian Team Championship. First League. One of my few games in the First League where Istvan played like G6, Bishop G7. I had no clue what I was doing with white though. You know, it was a bad idea. You know, luckily I he was fairly up in years and he wasn't really pushing for a win, but I don't know what I'm doing there either. So C5 is a move. You know, so E3 is interesting, like a reverse Blumenfeld. I guess that's the most common move. G3 is a reverse Benko, which totally makes sense. You know, that's, to me, the moves that make the most sense. I guess Bishop B2 also makes sense. You like B5? Yeah, those lead to weird positions. Knowledge Gabor, had some games with black where he did this. It's interesting, very complex. b5 like stops knight c6, so I guess black has less ability to control d4, but it makes my head hurt. I don't know, that gets closed and weird. I mean, I guess if b5 black does, like, can do like a5 and like b6 and rook a7 or something. But I guess the question is, first of all, black has to have control of the center. Black's position would be easier if he had like an extra tempo or something. So he takes. Not my favorite move. It feels like kind of wrong to release the tension. But Kramnik's got games here, okay? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like a declined Benko. We're basically transposing to a Benko declined. So what's he supposed to do? Like g3, e5, d3, bishop takes c5, castles, well, bishop g2, knight f6, castles. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's just a reverse declined Benko. For whatever it's worth. I don't play it for either side, really. But this move, I guess that raises some questions. Like, what is he gonna do if you hold on to this square? Is his bishop gonna end up just like bad? I mean, if that clears out, you have he has a good game. But I mean, is he gonna just end up regretting playing bishop b2? Yeah, this is like, would you play bishop b7 in a Benko? It's not good. Bishop takes c5. Yeah, it's the only move that makes any sense for him would be like e3 probably. If you cave in, maybe it's something for white. But he's got to be consistent. It doesn't look right though, but this is bad. So now he plays that, which I mean, he's afraid of the b4 square. But I don't know, he has knight here, so he's put his bishop on the wrong square, basically wasted the tempo. He should revert to playing the Benko. This is just a waste of time. Yeah, now I don't know what you should do. I mean, I'm starting to think you might have like Nescafe Frappe attack style stuff here with e4. You gotta seriously start looking at sacrifices and calculate if there's anything there. I mean, it looks plausible that you might have something here. Perhaps, you know, my fantasy is to get something like this going, you know. You almost have something. You want to like calculate at least to see if it might be there. Yeah, I mean, you even have like variations like this. Like you might have bishop takes f2 check. I don't know. Check. d4 queen takes b2. I mean, there's crazy stuff that can happen. Obviously, very crazy stuff that can happen. You have to calculate. But if you don't do that, you know, then what's the plan? From the structural perspective, like your breaks are b5, which is pretty much never attacking the head of his pawn chain, or e4. You know, you want to play for e4 structurally. Or the other option is to like, yeah, okay, bishop g4, queen d7, try to trade off his fianchetto bishop and conduct a kingside attack. The other possibility is going here. You might have h6, rook e8, and sort of set up e4 that way. Or just play queen d7 and bishop h3 anyway. I don't know. But I doubt bishop g4 is a bad move. Rather than rook e8 here, I'm not sure. I would look for this. But is your bishop trapped? You don't want to have this happen. So you might want to play h6 at some point to ensure your bishop has squares. Rook e8 also is about maybe your bishop coming back in some lines, I guess. It's not a bad move. Yeah, this I was talking about earlier. It's a sucky square for the queen. At least in the Benoni. He's trying to stop you from playing e4. But his pieces are bad. Yeah, so maybe you should have played h6 at some point, right? Yeah. Yeah, you want to make sure your bishop has the ability to come back here. The engine actually said exactly that. So you played this, but he could have played h3. He did. Yeah. Yeah, if you have to give up your bishop, you're not really happy. Right. Yeah, so despite his weird position, at least he gets your light square bishop. And now his light square bishop is enough to kind of make it tough for you to make progress. This is a great piece. Again, maybe e4. It looks like it probably doesn't work. I just don't really see anything clear, but it's close. Obviously, he could also take on g6, but I wasn't sure about this. You have to keep looking for e4. This is a weird move, knight e7. Not something he probably expected. It's very interesting. That's cool. I mean, it's outside the box type of move. I don't think I would have ever anticipated that. So it shows an original perspective. Basically, you're going to play h6, and then you're liking that. Yeah, there's no way white saw this coming. It's an interesting idea. a4, h6, and now you're threatening to go back. So what if he trades? You take with a knight, he plays knight e4. I think this is what he should do. a4 is probably a bad move, but it's not that bad. Like here, or trade, I don't know. Trade, knight f4. It may be hard for you to break through on the white squares, his white square blockade. Yeah, I don't think he should have played a4 necessarily. Like, I don't know why he chose that moment to play that. He didn't know where to put his king, though, I think. Objectively. Yeah, I think he just has to take immediately and then try to trade pieces with, like, knight e4. Now, you could play knight f4, but probably you would, like, take, and he would take, and you would stick your knight in f4. He's got to try to play for a draw here, I think. He's objectively worse. Because his king safety is less good than yours. But his bishop is really strong. I think he has legit chances to hold on here. I can't turn on the engine. I guess you have the capability turned off. Alright, whatever. So, the game was a4. He let you keep your bishop. Bishop a3. That was his idea. But ultimately, like, that's your bad bishop too. So you're not that destroyed over this exchange. And you've done your job. Now the problem is this file. And you wanted to play knight b4, which makes a lot of sense. Huh. It's something to take with the knight here. I guess it doesn't really matter. Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one for white. Looks like he made a mistake. He's fearing knight b4 here. knight b4, and you lock the queen side. So he could have played like a5 first. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. In retrospect, a5 was a very good idea. Let's just leave it at that. Oh no. How did this guy come back? What is this guy? What do you mean you're sorry? How did he get unbanned? It's just like a serial troll? Where did that guy... Who is that guy? What is his problem? Oh, he's Zenchess's friend. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I thought I didn't know. Oh, you unbanned him. He should stay banned. Alright, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know he was your friend. We have more tolerance for friends. I wish I had known. Alright. Yeah, I thought we picked up a new troll. I'm getting kind of tired. It's late for me. I don't have a lot of patience. I'm going to just ban. This is horrible, man. I mean, he's lost with that bishop on f1. As horrible as it is, and as weak he's afraid his king side is, he has to do this. And he's worse, but he's got the queen defending, like, laterally. I think... You think bishop takes c4 is crazy? Why? It's a relatively simplified position. Oh, I think this is even crazier, to be honest with you. That led the bishop with cement shoes on g2. Oh, instead of what? What are you saying? What are you saying, man? Instead of knight takes c4, bishop takes c4. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, maybe. I mean, there's a chance he'll do this, but I would expect anyone in their right mind... honestly, that it wouldn't matter, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have to do this. And you're going to end up in that position anyway. It shouldn't really matter. Yeah. Objectively. But this is cement shoes. I mean, that bishop on g2 is done, man. He's got a serious problem now. I've won a lot of games in the King's Indian. And this is like a King's Indian. I mean, that bishop is toast. So knight takes e4, pawn takes e4, he's toast there. Yeah, but I think I'd rather have the knight. I don't know if move 11's trying to say this in a way. But I'd rather have the knight than the bishop on h7. I'd rather have the knight. But it's still horrible for white, you know, and this is really bad. I mean... But I don't know what to do. He's strategically lost. I guess knight g2? Can we play like that? Oh my god, his knight's hanging. I guess queen g3. I keep trying to find a move for the guy. He has to play he has to play... That's a queen. Queen g3 with the idea of... Very deep now. Queen g3 with the idea of bishop f3 so he can play knight g2 and play knight e1 and knight d3 or something. It's horrible. Yeah, this is man, that's bad. Badly. But maybe we made a mistake. You know, to be honest, this is not desirable for black. The old London system. Yeah, if it had been a knight on f6 instead of bishop on h7, we could just play g6. We'd have a good game. The problem is here he's going to get to take with the e-pawn. And now we got the clearance sale. So I don't think you're winning necessarily. Maybe I underestimated white's resources here. But maybe we have better. I mean, I think black has a clear advantage, for whatever that's worth. You could, as gross as it is, you could play g6. It's only temporary. Like, seriously, what if you played g6, right? Then you attack his knight later? I mean, there's interesting possibilities here. You can also play like king g7, f6, and bishop g8 and crawl your bishop out. His bishop's not going to come out, but yours will eventually. I don't think this is so crazy, actually. Yeah, so he might survive now. Unfortunately, you can't play e4 because of rook takes d4, I assume. So he's like holding on. This may not be easy to break him down. You have... No, you need a secondary, like, you know, weakness on the king side. Tricky position, but I think, you know, you are better. It seems like you should have been winning already. The guy's showing real resilience. No good square. Oh man, he's lost. There's no move. It's over. Wait a minute now. Hold on. You don't have like d1 queen here? You have d1 queen, right? I suspect that works. Wow. You did it the hard way. That's nice, though. Alright. It's good. Last game, guys. Thanks, Husky. Last game for today. Friendly trolls are the best kinds in chess. We're always welcome to the friendly trolls. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired, so I'm missing some stuff. But I do the best I can. Learn, study, my studies. Yeah, we're kind of going late tonight. Usually I end around 9:30. I'm over the martini time. Lakey versus Pop G. Pop G misses his game. This is Lakey versus Pop G. Pop G rated. Alright. Friendly trolls are okay. Yeah, London system's not allowed. This is a good line. I also play this with black. So now he has e5. Yeah. Pop G's really good. I mean, I have like a terrible score against him in Blitz. I think I beat him once, like 15 years ago. Okay, e5, bishop g3. Now, he didn't play the move the Weedmaster and I analyzed, which is knight e4. I think he didn't know this. I assume he didn't know it. So he just like reverts to a... That's the problem with your move order. Knight e4 is picking off your bishop, just the other way around. Pop Jula. He's a Hungarian GM. G6. Not as good. Yeah, now you got a reasonable position. He missed 94. But I suppose you should probably try to keep your bishop somehow. So, from what I remember watching Roman Gingiashvili play the white side of bishop f4 style King's Indians, you should play h3 here. And make sure your bishop has a retreat square back to h2. You made a couple of subtle mistakes. And he's probably playing fast. Yeah, so I think again he should go for your bishop pair. Though here it's not as clear. You have bishop h4. Okay, this is not as convincing. But I still think you should play h3. Knight takes d4, knight h5. But you're still solid if you choose to go that way. Yeah, that's kind of an interesting position, actually. So what happened? Pawn takes. Yeah, I mean, you have to play bishop e2, I guess. But I like black here. You know, I think, again, maybe this is too early, though. Yeah, maybe you're okay. I guess the question is what happens on, like, bishop h4. It does look like there might be some issues. He can't really play this because of knight b5. Bobby Fischer famously fell into that kind of trap. You know, where he ended up, like, having trouble because of that. But you gotta think about playing h3 earlier to avoid this problem. But I don't think you should let yourself get checked here. This is serious. Kind of a serious concession having to pull your knight back to e2. Obviously, you know, king f1 or even king d2 are even worse concessions. He goes for your bishop finally. Yeah, now, I don't really know what future your knight has from g3. So you should consistently, or I should say, you should consider playing h takes g. I kind of think, like, ultimately, your knight's guarding the d4 pawn. You might want to come back to here. But I don't really see a future for the knight on g3. I mean, it's just like, where's it going to go, you know, from that square? Pachi just played really low maintenance here. No pawn moves, no weaknesses. Again, I don't know. You're in trouble with this knight e6, knight f4. The dark squares are bad. Now you have queen e4. Tactic. What does he do on queen e4? If queen e7, queen b7. If bishop f3, queen f3, that's probably what he would have to do, but it's relatively plausible that you might be able to defend this position. For example, bishop d4, queen b7, rook b8. You're only slightly worse. You can't just drop this pawn straight up, but I guess he's got bishop d4, queen e4. Okay, here. Oh, this happened. Did he drop a piece here? Or he calculated this? He sacrificed a piece here. Wow. It's not a sacrifice. Nice. I think you should go for the opposite color bishops. Queen g4, bishop d2. Probably your best chance. This is too passive. Yeah, I mean, this is your last chance. After bishop c3. Hey, what's up, Chess Zebra? Welcome. No, I think your last chance. It's still not likely you're gonna draw because you have a lot of weaknesses and you're a pawn down. Actually, you have rook takes b7, don't you? Yeah, you're a pawn down. More weaknesses, more pawn islands. Actually, you both have 3 pawn islands, but you have 2 isolani. You see how your knight on g3 can't do anything? I mean, yeah, a lot of subtle mistakes. Guys, we're just wrapping up. Thanks to the raid from Pop G. Yeah, he's just all business here. Personally, I wouldn't take your knight unless I have to, but he's at risk of losing the pawn on b7. So I guess he had to. And now he goes into a technical ending. You're a clear pawn down. You're 2 pawns down with a bad structure. He's like a machine. I'm not sure about h5, but it's probably not a bad move. This is blitz chess. Is there any tactics? It feels like there should be something here, but there's nothing here. Very hard to beat PUBG. Yeah, he's just very strong technical and tactics. You're done. Alright, but no shame in losing to him. Tough player. And I have not scored well myself. Thanks everyone for joining me for the stream. We'll be back tomorrow with some Blitz at 9 a.m. Thanks Mr. Coffee. Thanks to Astrobate for the gift subs. Up to 8 gift subs this week. And it's still only Thursday. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And thank you all you guys for your help. I will be back again tomorrow morning. It's 11 a.m. Alright. Thanks for the raid from PopG. Everybody, thank you very much. We'll be back later. Bye.